Next on Cartoon Chat.
You young fool, don't you understand? I am the good guy! What?
This is the Animation Conversation. You're here on Cartoon Chat. I am one of your hosts, Brian the Baltimorean, joined alongside a special guest, the sir himself. Good to have you back, man.
Always good to be back, man.
And of course, the man that, was just trying to wrangle this conversation on and on and on and not let us start. What is on your
Was
face?
I doing something Timmy related?
What is on your face?
I don't know. Was I doing something Timmy related?
Oh boy, jeez.
This is again the Cartoon Chat.
I know you're gonna edit that. I know you're gonna edit that like intro. A little behind the scenes for you folks. I know you're gonna edit that intro and post, but you still have the clip of like, you want to play hockey later?
Yeah, the funny ass.
Are you gonna fix that? Or are you gonna,
I said we're using the Paranorman intro just because I don't have the Channel Chasers intro stitched in, so it's gonna all be reverted or adjusted so that it's a Channel Chasers clip. Probably, I'm thinking about using the quote, "You fool, I am the good guy." I'm probably going to use that quote, pretty cool quote. And then, we'll go from there. Of course, Cartoon Chat is a part of the ScreenBlast Society. Of course, find us at ScreenBlastPodcast.com. Mark, fill some time for a good 30 seconds for me, please.
No, I know what song guys some of the Mufasa trailer. You're like, wake up in the morning feeling like B. Diddy. And it's like a wake up montage Mufasa getting up on that bed and shit.
Jesus Christ, they're gonna have a whole fucking compilation of just him, like a nice little montage of him getting up, putting on some.
It's gonna subvert expectations. It's gonna be a full out comedy.
I'm gonna be honest, if they do that, that might actually be better.
I would be oddly hyped. It just
but you have to commit. You actually get old ass James Earl Jones. You get the old man to do that.
Have like a comedian voice Mufasa.
But you have to at serious moments, brief serious moments, that goes back to James Earl Jones.
Yes.
Just in the
he's like, yes. I told you I want like we already said this, but I'm just gonna say it again. Like I want like Scar and Mufasa to be like buddies, like Bill and Ted, and then like they go against each other like at the end, near the end of the movie.
Yeah,
like they're the best of bros.
We did that. We recorded that, right?
Yes.
Yeah, where it's like, again, I think the whole thing's gonna be that he's with the whole theory. We have two different overall synopsis we think that Disney's going to go for, because they only go for the basic generic plot lines. And I think that it's going to be that Mufasa steals Scar's, like, the girl that he wants, and that makes him angry, and so that's when he starts to get upset. And that's
but the movie's gonna start like Scar's gonna be like outside of the cave, like, Mufasa, dude, let's go to the elephant yard. You ready, bro?
I think
we're best friends. We're there's no brother better than you.
There's no one better. And then the Lion King movie comes, and obviously there is definitely better. I think a Thor and Loki situation could be likely, because we saw that Marvel Cinematic Universe, Black Panther steals a bit from Lion King, and now you could do the reverse.
It's a remake, so they could probably just do Thor but with lions.
Yeah,
they don't really like making new scripts anymore.
Let's get Mufasa in the middle of what is that, Arizona, live at like modern day Arizona. Get him there, IHOP, all that stuff. Denny's.
Scar will eventually come back. Go sit in the big old chair and protect the universe for all.
No, you're gonna have Mufasa in the Rainforest Cafe.
We need Idris Elba in there somewhere. That'd be great. Guys, this is Cartoon Chat. We're not talking about the MCU.
He's Rafiki.
We're going to be talking about Channel Chasers, of course, but before that, I want to lay out a couple things here. I want to get to... Jesus Christ, my whole notes are up instead of...
My bad.
You're good.
Way to fuck up the notes.
Yeah, we did the notes, we did all that. Okay.
I said my bad.
Okay, so...
You're not forgiven.
So, of course, we're going to do, like I said, review of Channel Chasers, but... Before that, I want to talk a little bit about Nick in the sort of early mid-2000s. I think we all have some sort of fandom following. to me, this was, I think, a very high point for Nickelodeon, especially in the animation realm. There's a lot going on in television and film. The significance of Nickelodeon in animation at that point was, I think, higher than ever. And there's a lot you could be impressed with. Of course, like, you know, if I were to run down, like, a few key things, you had SpongeBob, that at that point was a massive cultural phenomenon. The movie kit would come out in 2004. You have Rugrats was ending its run. Hey Arnold was ending its run. But All Grown Up would continue that sort of success and popularity. And that would still keep that success going.
You're calling The Life of Ginger a fucking high point?
You have... No, so with a point
As
here...
Told by Ginger?
As Told by Ginger.
That's
how much I don't care for that fucking show.
Okay, I will get to that point, alright? You see it up there, but let me keep it moving. You had Invader Zim, you had Chalk Zone, they stood out with their creativity and just the cool ideas that they brought to the table. My Life as a Teenage Robot came out that year. You had, again, Jimmy Neutron, massively successful. Successful film, then the series ended up having a large following as well. And obviously we'll talk about the Jimmy Timmy Power Hour in a sec, because that leads into the fact of how big Fairly Odd Parents was at the time as well. I wanted to bring up As Told by Ginger because, you know, you think about all of the big juggernauts that Nick has, but they were also... You know, I think Kolaski Scoopo was given a lot of leniency because of the success of Rugrats, so they had, like, Rocket Power, and they had the Wild Thornberries, and they had As Told by Ginger, which... As Told by Ginger, notably, and Rocket Power as well, were more sort of slow-paced, but character-driven stories that were not just super pacey in comedy. And so you had a different dynamic going on. It was a very nice variety of content that was original coming out of Nickelodeon. That's the overall point. Another thing, obviously, Danny Phantom comes out this year. So when you think about the Butch Hartman effect, it's all massive here. It's all going on. And, you know, like I said, Channel Chaser's happening as well. I wanted to ask you guys, this point in time for Nickelodeon, we've spent a lot of time, I've spent a lot of time talking about Cartoon Network at this point, doing a lot of videos about Cartoon Network at this point in time. Doing a panel, which will be posted at some point in the future, about Cartoon Network at this point in time. It was hyper-competitive with Nickelodeon, but what do you guys think of Nickelodeon at this point in time? I'll start with Martin. What do you think?
Well, literally everyone showed on here that you just mentioned were shows that I watched.
Okay.
Religious, especially something like Danny Phantom, something like that. They would religiously watch those shows.
Right.
As Told by Ginger, I think it was.
I would skip it. I'll be honest with you.
Honestly, okay. Well, then that's a move on.
No, I'm not saying you don't have to skip it. I would.
Oh no!
When I was a kid.
It was kind of boring.
It wasn't boring. I enjoyed it for what it was.
Yeah.
But Rocket Power was something that everyone I knew watched.
That's awesome.
I think it even pursued this.
Rocket Power sucked.
Oh my god!
Fucking hate Rocket Power.
Get your commentary the fuck out. You will have your choice.
I like Rocket Power a lot. It was enjoyable.
Because you suck.
Oh my god.
Well, thank you very much.
Jesus Christ, you will have your turn.
I like having low self-esteem.
Oh my god, just gotta stir the pot.
The harder you hit it, the happier I am.
Gotta stir the pot. But yeah, that Kolaski Scoopo duo there was pretty cool. What do you think of Wild Thornberries? I don't know where they were going with that. That's my whole thing. It was cool. It was a fine misadventure with the family. Obviously, the father's been mean to heck and back, but it's there. That one was definitely the one that was there. Especially even as an adult going back and watching it, like that's the one for me that holds the least value when you think about Thornberries.
I forgot you just said it, and now I remember everything about it.
Did you have fun with the Rugrats crossover?
What was that?
The Rugrats Thornberries crossover.
Rugrats go wild.
And then they go on
the for some reason thought it was a good idea to lease theatrically.
I saw half of that.
That's I think the best thing you can do. I think that's the best idea.
I think Spike's voice actor I didn't think it fit, so I didn't like it.
Bruce Willis.
Oh, that's what it was?
Yes.
Oh, was it Bruce Willis?
Yeah.
God. Oh, that's crazy.
I think they make him too hyperactive, the way he was portrayed. I didn't like the way he was portrayed.
Yeah.
I think he just portrayed better as silence.
That makes sense.
I mean, but the gimmick was, hey, he's going to run into Nigel, so like Nigel has to hear his voice naturally. Not Nigel, fucking
Nigel.
Eliza.
Fuck it, Eliza.
Right.
So yeah, I wasn't particular. I know, but I just didn't think that voice actors.
He didn't fit the
fit the character. Even though it's a dog.
Yeah.
And
Okay, so you guys brought up Rocket Power
Still.
and Wild Thor, but was these still airing around this time?
What?
Those two. Rocket. You guys brought both.
Rocket Power, and As Told by Ginger were ending their runs this year. Like, that's the thing, is Nick was still attempting. Now it was they were at the end of their runs, but by 2004, you're starting to get this point where it's starting to really change. You had the earlier Nicktoons that weren't really airing that much anymore.
Yeah, Spike was Bruce Willis.
Like I said,
I think I moved to Nicktoons.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of those shows. That's the thing that was cool about Nicktoons is, unlike Boomerang, which only aired the old stuff for a very long
Except
time.
As Told by Ginger. That's
Told by
only
Ginger
on Sundays.
Well,
was it Saturdays?
That's the thing. They didn't air that often. And it was Nickelodeon was led by their big hitters, and then from there they wouldn't air a lot of their other ones.
Yeah, I remember I was being told by Ginger not airing a whole lot. It was there, but it wasn't being aired a whole lot.
Yeah,
The most I've seen of it, it was on the sister or is that the right sister channel Nicktoons.
Yeah, Nicktoons TV, which would become Nicktoons Network, which would become Nicktoons. What else? Did you have anything else you wanted to say about the sort of era at the time? Not just these cartoons necessarily, but just the vibe of like early 2000s.
I want more enjoyable than anything I'll maybe watch today. Like, but I guess it's basically anything from the early 2000s. Nothing particular. I have to say beyond that. I guess we want to move on anyway. So
No, Brian just put the camera on me, so I was like, I'm just gonna do
I
something.
pressed the button the wrong one. All right.
He just like you threw the camera on me while he was talking, so I was like,
It was like,
all right,
I'm not
well,
gonna switch it.
instead of like having the audience look at my blank face, we're
You
gonna
have
do
the
some
switcher,
dancing.
motherfucker. Yeah.
actually, I didn't watch that a lot.
What?
My
My Life as a Teenage Robot?
Yeah,
Good
I enjoyed it when it came on, but it wasn't one of those shows that I just
Continued to watch later and later.
Because I remember seeing a same episode over a lot. I think that's what pissed me off because I ended up seeing that snow episode over and over again.
In the mid 2000s, they would air a lot of the same episodes.
Yeah, and after a while, I just got
Correct.
so when it was coming on, I was probably changing the channel.
I think season 3 only aired on the sister channel Nicktoons.
Interesting. That's weird.
Probably could have been the same case for Tough Puppy. Even though
I didn't know Nick Puppy came on the regular channel.
it
did?
did. It did. It premiered.
Oh, yeah, no,
I was there for premiere.
Yeah, I remember when.
I've never seen it until it was on Nicktoons.
I mean, it was there, but again, at that point in time, that's when it became more live action-y and also more DreamWorks CG centric, and that's end of the 2000s. That's sort of a different point.
The channel. Because like I thought you were talking about Tough Puppy, where it's like it became more live action. You went what?
No, I'm talking. Yeah, the channel, not the. Oh no, that This is still Nickelodeon, by the way. I didn't want to talk live action stuff, but this is the same. Again, you talk about the weird stuff. They had like Mr. Meaty and all that stuff going on around this time too. Like they were really. It was experimental and it was an enjoyable time.
I remember Mr. Me because it used to be online shorts. And I would tune in.
Fresh off the grill.
That was
Mr. Meaty, your friends need to eat
Meet them.
I remember that. That's all I remember about that show.
It used to be like
I didn't watch it.
online
It's
shorts,
so
and then they
creepy.
finally
It was
gave you the
just-
show.
It was just that song that
Yeah.
I like. I would remember that because it was just so funny.
Yeah.
Like all God creatures fresh.
Fresh out the grill.
It was
Yeah.
like, that was funny.
Yeah.
But
Brian,
I
you
never
used to
watched
quote,
it
you
afterwards.
quote that all the time in school.
Yes.
Oh my god.
It's such a good. It's beautiful. Like, man, that was such a good show. Man, I need to rewatch that. That's like Aqua Teen Hunger
It's
Force
it
levels of
can
humor.
be a cartoon chat because puppetry is a form of animation.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, either way, we were going to talk about it eventually. Like, we're going to shove it on one of these podcasts.
Also, we gotta give one episode to my boys the Muppets. You know we gotta do that.
Huh?
What? Oh, Sesame Street? Yeah, Mark, we can do your favorite show. No problem.
For us, the same thing. Yeah.
No, I know. That's why. I mean, one's tech definitely fallen off much worse than the other.
I'm gonna see if I can find the 80s episodes of Sesame Street.
Yeah, because like you said, they're not
on.
on. They're not on. Where are they? They're not on Max, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never watched Sesame Street as a kid.
Okay.
But, like I see like clips of it. And it's like, hey, that's some interesting like puppetry and animation they're doing right there.
Mark, tell me about.
Simpsons
watched
had a
Sesame Street when
cameo.
you were a kid?
Huh?
You know
Yeah,
what?
didn't
Sesame Street when you were a
No,
kid?
I was a Barney boy.
Wait, but you watched PBS Kids.
Yeah.
So how What do you mean? Like that's
I don't know why.
That's like kind of
I don't know why I didn't watch it.
watching. That's like it went.
If it was Mr. Rogers, I say okay, but
I don't know why I didn't watch it. I never turned it off. It just never got in front of me.
Did you watch Between the Lions?
that's the one I watched.
It's A+. Don't tell me you skipped Between the Lines. That's like God tier.
Maybe I probably just don't remember.
What about
That's
Dragon
why
Tales?
It wasn't.
Saga.
I wasn't into Dragon Tales.
Saga.
Ooh.
That was one Dragon Tales was one I actually skipped. That I wasn't. I think. I don't think it was in front of me when I was a baby, but like by the time I found out Dragon Tales existed, I was like, "This is a baby show."
What the fuck? What's wrong with? When you saw it, I'm sorry.
Yeah, dumbass.
I got to.
Listen to what I'm saying.
I was like, how dare you, as a 3-year-old, be like, this shit's for me. Yeah.
I can't form sentences yet, but this shit is for babies.
My analytical perspective is so much better than what they're bringing to the table. Let's get off this. Mark, what do you think of early to mid 2000s Nickelodeon though? Like,
It was
talk to Martin. What do you think about, like, when you think about high points, memorable things, whether it's the stuff that's on the screen here or not? What do you think of when you think of Nick during this point in time?
There was some fun to be had, even though it was a Cartoon Network / Disney boy. I would tune into Nick sometimes and
Disney? Fuck.
Yeah. But I would tune in sometimes to Nickelodeon, and most I would watch is a little bit Danny Phantom. I was okay with it. Definitely for SpongeBob and the Jimmy Timmy Power Hour was hype. I wasn't. I found out it existed when it was airing.
Are we talking Saturdays?
I was just changing the channel, and then I saw Jimmy Neutron and Timmy Turner style, what the heck is going on? Oh my god, it's a crossover. Sweet.
What? Nothing came on Cartoon Network on Saturdays.
What?
What?
What do you mean nothing came on Cartoon
It was Fridays.
No, but stuff was on set. The Cartoon Network airs.
What are we talking about?
What
What the fuck are we talking about? Hey!
On Saturdays.
Hey,
You
what's
said
going on?
you watched Kid. Oh, sorry.
What are we talking about?
You said you watched Kids WB on Saturdays back in the day.
Yes.
So
Martin, what the fuck is the context of this conversation?
No, because he's talking about, he's asking if you. he was presuming that you must have caught this stuff on Saturdays, and so then he started talking about.
I was speaking in general. What the fuck?
Okay.
I don't remember what day shit was on.
I was just saying. I was asking because I was watching WB and Fox Kids on Saturdays. So when he said
agreed.
Cartoon Network on Saturday, I was like, what came on Saturday on Cartoon Network?
Back in the day.
I didn't say a day. You misheard me. I didn't.
I asked Brian. I said, "We're talking Saturdays." He said, "Most likely."
I said most likely because when you're a kid, it's unless it's summer vacation, you're probably watching it on the weekends or at nights on weekdays. You're probably not. I forgot, Mark. You didn't go to school, so my bad. You're bad. You're right. But go ahead, continue. I'm sorry.
For the record, I did go to public school. Sadly,
lies.
I would have been smarter.
He went to Xavier School for slow children. Go ahead.
Fuck, I can't fucking punch up that joke. But Nickelodeon was my third favorite of the three main kids channels. But it was still a fun time. Mostly just watching SpongeBob and Fairly Odd Parents. SpongeBob and Fairly Odd Parents and Jimmy Neutron. Those are my cartoons from there.
Cool. All right. I'll touch on it briefly. I'd say definitely. You already know my take. Disney aired way too many of the live-action sitcoms and shit, so that was my third automatically. But what I remember as a kid was any point in time. Notably, my nostalgia goes to summer vacation. That's the weekdays I remember. Summer vacation, you're bored as shit, and you're watching cable, and you're just flipping through. For me, it was Comcast. And it was, those three channels were right next to each other, 42, 43, 44. And it was Cartoon Network, Disney, Nick. And those were the three. And if Cartoon Network didn't have anything interesting on, I would skip Disney and I'd go straight to Nick. And Nick would have some cool shit on that would be very interesting to me. Again, at this point in time, you had still a solid slate of animation. Again, like you said, the keys for Nick at the time were Fairly Odd Parents, Jimmy Neutron, SpongeBob. And the problem with was that everything else kind of got shooed off to the side, aired less, and they had some live action content themselves that they wanted to prioritize too, so it got pushed as well. I was a huge SpongeBob fan. I would wait a bunch of times when there would be a SpongeBob marathon. I would hopefully wait for like Sandy's Rocket. That's like one of my favorite episodes as a kid. It's not anymore, but it was one of my favorites. Very nostalgic for it. Danny Phantom, I just thought it was very cool. Fairly Odd Parents was just a great premise, and like I've said a ton of times, I love the lore building that you built up over time while you would watch that show. You would sort of learn about the universe, and it was very valuable in sort of how I learned what world building meant. And then Jimmy Neutron was just sort of interesting misadventures with a smart.
We'll do a
smart dude.
We'll do a cartoon chat on it one day. But like Danny Phantom it's like one of those shows I like less the more I get older. I get
What?
Yeah.
The fuck? That's a take. Excuse me.
No,
explain yourself. Fuck the
lame.
wait for a cartoon chat.
It's so
Explain
lame and
yourself.
goddamn corny.
Fuck yeah.
That show is so fucking lame and corny.
It's 2004 and they're teenagers. It's gonna be corny. It's like you got a nerd Danny Fenton who
I know it's like Spider-Man, but like fucking.
But cool, because he's a ghost.
With the corny writing of Fairly Odd Parents.
You remember the classic? What? How many times do you? I will say, you know what's crazy is you start to realize rather quickly as a kid. I think that before Tough Puppy, because Bunsen uses it too. That's where you start to hear like the mannerisms and the sound effects, kind of like the Johnny Test whip. The crack whip that becomes so familiar. That fucking Hartman mannerism and sound effect. Like, you hear it in Fairly Odd Parents, then it goes to Danny Phantom, then it goes to Tough Puppy, and by fucking Bunsen, you're like, I'm done with this shit. And then it's like, it's so tired and worn out.
I'll get into it.
Explain why the fuck you think this shit is what? It's not lame.
It's not boring.
Just teenager
it's just like it's a corny version of the Spider-Man.
Corny.
Cornier.
Okay, so what did you think of My Life as a Teenage Robot? Because if you thought that,
I love that show. Animation is really great.
So
that show is actually it's funny. It's fun. I love the characters. It's actually has some well written jokes too. I think the characters are interesting.
I think the lore building of Danny Phantom is way better than My Life as a Teenage Robot because
I'll say I'll give it that they do pay. Here's the thing. They do pay attention to the lore building.
Wait. Let Martin say.
From the beginning of the Danny Phantom series, he had you found out that the ice breath, the little cool that just happens every time a ghost comes is actually an ability.
It's a ghost sense.
Yeah, and then he literally gets ice powers that just shoot out. It's like that's lore like from the beginning. That's continuity. I enjoyed that a lot to find out because it felt like he was growing. He felt like he was growing.
Yes, and Mark, My Life as a Teenage Robot is turning red, but as a blue robot. All right, just accept that. Accept it. It's turning red, but with a blue robot.
No, it's not.
It's learning how to. It's a teenager that's moody, that's growing up. All right, it's learning to be independent of its mother. It's turning red with a blue robot. Can you accept it? Accept it.
I do like.
Accept it.
I like the hero parts of it.
I love My Life as a Teenage Robot, but that's what this is. Learn.
Teenage Robot is like it's just fun. It's fun and cartoony.
It is. I'm taking it too long.
I didn't say it was a bad cartoon.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's just like. It's like the way it works is just like it's kind of like a more corny version of Spider-Man. I'm just like less into it.
Why do you keep,
but like
keep degrading? You can say it's like on the par. Because like, okay, would you say this is worse than Ben 10? Because I think Danny Phantom is as good as Ben 10, and I think Ben 10 is as good as a random Spider-Man animated series. Ben 10, the 2005 series.
Yes.
Which one are we talking about?
2005.
Don't talk about the years.
2005. The original series.
Okay. That's what we're talking about.
I think it's on par with Danny Phantom. I think Danny Phantom and Ben 10, 2005.
I think the earlier parts of Ben 10 is more on par with it. Later on,
it slips.
No.
I think
the world building in Ben 10 gets way better than what Danny Phantom The world building in Danny Phantom is good. It's good. It's good. Hold on. The world building in Danny Phantom is good. It is good world building.
It's very good.
It's very good.
Yes.
My thing is like the writing of the overall characters can be just like pretty just like basic at some points, especially like around the
Yeah, but that's
they're teenager. They're Well, not just that. Not well.
It's like basic teenager writing.
I don't forgive simple writing because of the time that it's in. But I'm saying that like for what it's doing in terms of its progression.
About
with the progression of the characters, with the progression of all of the characters there, the cast there, Fladmasters, you have Bloodmasters, the parents, the sister, you have Danny's crew, you have the surrounding cast. All of them have some sort of their own sort of moments of development, and they start out as cardboard cutouts, but they grow into valuable pieces that you actually learn to like and sort of grow with as time, or you learn to dislike. I mean, you learn about the girl. You learn about
girl. What's her name?
I don't remember, but I remember she's a valuable character. Yeah. Also, you start to learn about characters like even simple characters like the Box Ghost become like these like very funny, memorable characters throughout time. Like these are. I think that that's why I think it's better than Ben 10, because Ben 10 it grows, but it's still at the end of the day a standard Saturday morning cartoon. That's maybe it's a grade better than a Saturday morning cartoon.
So in that remark, Danny Phantom is.
But Danny Phantom I think is better than a standard Saturday morning cartoon. Again, I think we brought this up before.
The characters in the world of Ben 10 grows a lot within the city. Like not counting Ultimate Alien Force.
No, I literally said the original.
Throughout near the end of the show, especially with the movies coming in, it's just like it grows a lot.
Yes, but the series.
Yes.
Not the live action movie, not the.
I'm talking about the movies that are.
I'm gonna sit this one out.
I'm talking about the movies that are within the Ben 10 show.
Yes, they grow the lore.
And I think it was called Secret of the Omnitrix or some shit.
Yeah, we learn about the many, obviously there's different planets, there's different locations, there's all this stuff about different, we learn about the power of the Omnitrix, we learn more about, what Vildrag, I can't remember the fucking villain's name. Vildrag, thank you. We learn so much, and it's a great climb. I'm not saying it's bad, but I'm saying, the universe of Danny Phantom, by far, I think, is way more understandable from a surface level. You can jump into that show and kind of get the sense of what's going on. Ben 10, it's if you missed a few seasons and you jumped in toward the end of its run, it's I'm fighting this, and this from this thing. It's what the...
Nah, I never really lost track.
Okay, alright.
I mean, I guess that's your experience. I never lost track. Because same with Danny Phantom, he'll have certain powers that's from earlier episodes, or certain people would return.
Yeah.
That's just returning continuity, that's it.
Yeah.
Ben 10 is doing the same thing.
Yeah, but it's doing a similar thing, but I think in terms of, for audience understanding, it executed that better through its episodes.
I think it's more the same with Ben 10 then.
Which is why Ben 10 is just better overall because of its lore building.
Yeah.
Alright, moving on. Wait,
that's
fuck! Ben 10, Danny.
Yeah, you fucking... You fucker!
Alright, I set it out, man. I told you earlier I was setting this one out.
Alright, let's move on. That was a fun, unnecessary tangent. Mark, how long are we already? 45 minutes?
30.
Oh, Jesus. Alright,
31.
So, anyway, the point is, Nick in the early to mid 2000s was on a hot streak. Their animation was wide and various. By the way, the following year, Avatar: The Last Airbender would come out, and I think by that point, it's Cartoon Network has not made a series better than Avatar since then. Obviously, you could compare Samurai Jack if you wanted to from the past, but since Avatar came out, there's not been a series that Cartoon Network has made that's thought of as better. So Nickelodeon's really kind of stamped themselves, even though after about the mid 2000s, they slid significantly off the Nicktoons.
I haven't fully watched Avatar, but even I learned the legacy of it.
Yeah, I mean, the legacy is fantastic. It's fantastic, except for the fact that we don't have any fucking good video games lately. Got a PS5 system. Can we get an open world game, please? Can we get something good? Can we get a variety of fucking games, please? No. Why would we? It's Avatar. Who the fuck needs video games? Anyway, moving on. Let's talk about Fairly Odd Parents.
By the way, I just want to wrap it up. Just for the sake of conversation, so people don't fucking. I didn't say Danny Phantom was a bad show. I just I said I just like it less the more it went on.
No, you never said that. Yeah. you never said.
I personally liked it less the more the older I got, and whenever I go back to it.
But why? That's the thing I don't understand. Why?
I thought the writing was
Yeah,
corny.
yeah.
Also,
No,
I fucking,
Danny Phantom.
also, I fucking hate Phantom Planet.
Wait, what? Phantom Planet?
That's a final like special movie. That's where this show ends on.
You don't like the romance thing where at the end he gets the... You don't like any of that? Or he gets
When's the last time you watched Phantom Planet?
It's been like since it came out.
I watched it I think 4 years ago. Didn't like it.
Alright. Well,
That was a bad finale.
Jesus.
It was rushed and everything. Watch it again.
We might do a cartoon chat on that eventually.
I will watch it again.
You just to spite you, just to be like, all right, well this is bad. And then if you say it's bad, then if I
The
realize
only part I didn't like about it was like the end of the fight. That's probably the end.
But then again, but people don't like the end of fucking Avatar versus Ozai fight because he just does the whole fucking and he fucking he doesn't fucking end him.
What was the other character's name? That was a ghost.
Why is somebody so blisters?
What was the other character's name? Was it a ghost?
Buck's ghost.
No. Who is the friend of Danny's father? The old
Vlad Masters.
Vlad Masters. Like, I think at one point, especially, he just randomly was like, I was a ghost the whole, just to everyone in the crowd, I was a ghost the whole time, by the way, ah! And he just, like, flies off.
I will watch it.
I'm probably gonna have to watch that too because
I have to watch it again.
Again, I think the series is great.
I like.
Again,
I love continuity.
Again, I think
I love continuity too. There's a lot to do it better.
I know.
There's a lot to do it better.
If you're
Ben 10.
Yeah, then Ben 10. Yeah, I know. But if I'm just saying, if you're basing all of it off the end of the series,
I'm not. I said I don't like the end.
There's a lot of mid Ben 10 episodes. All right. There's a lot of
mid. There's a lot of mid and less than mid Danny Phantom episodes, boy!
But they're filled with good comedy. Let's move on to...
But the Ben 10 shows are filled with good action! Fuck you! And good characters. So fuck you!
I never said that Ben 10 doesn't have good characters. You went bad. Everyone likes... What's his name?
I know, but I'm getting... No, because you're trying to, like, fucking... They're filled with good comedy. Well, yeah, the mediocre Ben 10 episodes are filled with good characters and good
I love that RV. I love... That RV is better than the Breaking Bad RV. And I love I love the quests. I love the fucking one of my favorite episodes.
Also, I didn't bring up Ben 10. You're the one that brought up the Ben 10 comparison.
No, I said Danny Phantom and then Ben 10. Yeah, I brought it up. Yes, I'm one of the hosts. I can bring up fucking Danny Phantom or Ben 10. Yeah, because I said that I choose either Nickelodeon or fucking Cartoon Network. And these two are great comparators because they're in the mid-2000s at a high point for both networks. So yeah, it's a cool thing to compare compared to the garbage. Well, I mean, look, do you want to compare Kim Possible? I think Danny Phantom's infinitely better than Kim Possible. Kim Possible's fine, but it's got the whole plot. Like, I love Kim Possible, but it's better than Ben 10, but it's not better than Danny Phantom. And that's where I'll leave it. Out of the three, Ben 10 falls below both of them.
I don't know who you're going against with that argument. Kim Possible's corny.
You just said the same thing for Danny Phantom. That's all. That's your credit.
I wasn't fighting that. I don't know why you're bringing up Kim Possible. And I was like, yeah, Kim Possible's pretty corny too.
Oh my god. Is Ben 10 corny to you? Is it not corny to you?
Did you have fun watching the shows?
Yeah, I have fun watching. I have fun watching all three.
Oh my god.
I have fun watching all three.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, indeed. Yeah.
Alrighty.
By the way, I like Danny Phantom. I just like it less. Fuck you for being so offended.
I know. I'm curious of your perspective, and I think it's wrong. Like, again,
you're wrong. You like Ben 10 less than Danny Phantom.
Okay,
Get the fuck out of here.
Mark, we can both agree. Phineas and Ferb is better than all three. You can't agree on that? You fucking serious? You love Phineas and Ferb, and you cannot agree to that. Fuck you. All right.
It gets. I love Phineas and Ferb, but like it's better.
I thought that we could have an agreement.
You know it's better, Red. I like Phineas and Ferb better than Danny Phantom and Kim Possible.
But you don't like it better than Ben 10?
I gotta think about that. You gotta give me time to think about that one.
Ben 10 is, again, this is a terrible combination because these shows are
because I can get bored of Phineas and Ferb after a couple episodes.
I mean, I can get bored of all of these shows after a couple episodes. I'd be changing the channels after.
What do you like?
All of them.
Nothing. Moving on.
Yes. We have a show that's been on the screen for a good 10 minutes.
And it's not Danny Phantom! Okay.
And it's not Danny Phantom, but Cosmo's looking like the father, maybe, Danny Phantom. Maybe it wasn't, the Fentons. Maybe it was Cosmo that did it. You know.
This bit is failing. Go on to start the fucking review.
We just had a 15-minute debate about fucking Danny Phantom and Ben 10. You're talking about the bit failing. Fuck you. All right.
You kept it going you were throwing in show. I was talking about Danny Phantom, and you're like, let me throw in some more shows in the mix. What about this? What about this? You don't like this? Now we're gonna talk about this.
Yeah. So.
Okay. Yeah. You better ignore that.
I'm just moving on. So. Fairly Odd Parents, Mark. I mean, we kind of touched on it. Fairly Odd Parents, by the time you watch this, and just overall, what do you think of the show briefly? Because we're just going to jump into Channel Chasers. We can talk about the series as a deeper cartoon chat later, but what did you think of Fairly Odd Parents kind of, at the time and even now?
We can just talk about it because, like, when are we going to do a cartoon chat? Like, in a year or so?
Probably a Jimmy Timmy Power Hour. We'll probably talk about it again.
Okay, Jimmy Timmy Power Hour, yeah. It's like,
because we'll have to compare both shows by that point, so... we'll have to compare Jimmy Neutron to Timmy Turner and the Fairly Odd Parents. I think Fairly Odd Parents is infinitely better than Jimmy
Yes!
Neutron. Yeah, I think that's non-debatable. It's a fun show. Like, it's a fun show.
I think it's debatable, but, like, I just think it's better.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it had Sheen in it, and Sheen created, Then again...
Sheen's a good character.
But then again...
Sheen's fucking funny.
Then again, Timmy turns into Drake Bell, so...
Don't let Planet Sheen fool you. Sheen is actually a funny character.
Yeah. But Mark, what did you think of briefly or however long you want to do Fairly Odd Parents? Tell me your thoughts.
All right, sit back for another 3 hours.
It was 1885 when I met Butch.
Fairly Odd Parents were like when it first started. It was just like a funny show. It's a very funny show, and like the animation, like it's a weird type of animation style. There's been like flat. I forgot what the term is, but like there's been like flat style of cartoonage before, like Dexter's Lab and Powerpuff Girls definitely have that. I think it's called UPN or something like that. But like it definitely has that certain style to it. But this one has its own like sort of it has its own timing and cues.
Yes.
And a lot of the jokes is like more based on like delivery, because it is not in a terrible way. I don't mean this in a negative way, but it is repetitive in with its jokes. But like it does it well because like it's based on delivery.
Yes.
Like the characters will say, "This thing can't happen." Later, thing happens. I can't believe this thing just happened.
Don't forget the sound effects.
And like or like they'll just like fall into like a fucking lake or something. Like there shouldn't be piranhas in here. No piranhas. It's just like all about delivery, and it is funny even when it doesn't even if it doesn't like make me laugh all the time. It is charming. And then, like, the more it went on, the more, like, it, like, added on to its lore, and that one is when it became more interesting, and, I was, like, really invested in, like, how well this world builds, because, like, we got the, I think it started with, like, the Abracatastrophe special. That was a big one. And, we got Channel Chasers, the one we're going to talk about now. We got, like, more that, like, harping on, like, kind of, like, plots that extra plots of the world of fairies, like how there's more magical beings like genies and pixies and stuff. It's a good show, but then like it just goes on for too long. Are we gonna talk about the legacy later, or should we just get into it now?
Like just this series run overall, Oh,
the series run overall,
I mean, you could talk about the Drake Bell stuff and all that, but
I skip those. That's the thing. It went on for too long to the point where I just started skipping it, and it's like it stopped becoming interesting too. Like I think like the last interesting specials were was Poof. I think after that there was Wishology, and there was the last interesting one I thought was interesting was the Poof special. That was a fun special, even though adding the baby to the mix wasn't that great. The Pooh special was pretty fun, but I saw Wishology, that was okay, and then they had more episodes and specials after that, and they stopped caring. What I was curious about when I came back to the show was the final season, the 10th season, is
they had this concept of like adding another character, and that character would share fairy godparents, and it was Chloe. And like the gimmick of the new season was there's 2 godchildren now, and Timmy has to share with Chloe. The thing is, like, they didn't really make that Chloe that interesting of a character, and the writing was like very more the same, but like not as funny and like more repetitive. And then the animation just fucking changes. It's not as like timed as like the other anime. It's just like it's more flashy, more puppetry. It's like it doesn't fit the style they were going for anymore. Have you seen Bunsen as a Beast? It's animated like that. It started to be animated just like that.
Hold on, you said they shared the fairies. Did they still live in his house?
They would go between houses. And what there's a lot of plot holes you can pick apart in Fairly Odd Parents. But like the one I don't get is like Timmy has to share his fairies. Timmy has 2 fairies. If you want to get technical, Timmy has 4 fucking fairies. So it's like, hey, one gets Cosmo, one gets Wanda. Even that, but like, Poof is not there. Apparently, Poof is. There was an episode in season 10, later season 10, that established Poof went to school, and the fairy dog, they added later. It's just gone. You can assume he's just dead.
Just shoot it in the head or something.
Yeah, probably like he probably been shot in the head or something. The fairy dog is just gone. Yeah. But like at a certain point, Timmy had 4 fairy godparents.
Yeah.
But like, and for the sake of conversation, I watched the very last episode of Fairly Odd Parents. Season 10 has like 10 episodes, and I watched season 10, and like it's the show just sort of like it like season 10 is just a 15-minute episode about like Timmy and Chloe trying to celebrate their 3-month anniversary, but their parents are like fighting, but get together. But it has no final episode energy. It's just an episode, and a mediocre episode at that, and like that's kind of one of the worst ways a show can go. Not the worst, but like just peter out. Just have like a basic mediocre episode and then just go away instead of just having some kind of final set. Especially for a world for a show that had like such good world building as Fairly Odd Parents. It's like
how far did it come?
Yeah, like you could have just like for a last episode of the show, you could have done like so much better or so much more. I mean, technically, this is a show that has like it feels like it has multiple endings with all those specials.
Yes, Martin.
Even though like those never were endings, but like, but yeah, it's just like I love the beginning of what I watched at Fairly Odd Parents, but like it just like sort of just like peters out.
Yeah, Martin. You know, you're not. I'm not gonna pop out your age. I don't know your actual age, but I know that you're older than me. What did you think of Fairly Odd Parents, sort of growing up to now? Like just the series running. Same question that
I fell off of it right around Sparky.
Okay. So you stayed around for a pretty long stretch.
Yeah, I watched through Poof because I enjoyed Poof. I thought it was funny. I really just came back for any of the specials. I think the last 2 specials. I don't know which one came first. Which one came first? Which one was like Kiss?
That was Wishology.
Okay,
yeah.
I think the one after that was Timmy's Secret Wish.
And then I watched that one too. I came back for that one too.
That one like fucked with continuity so bad.
Yeah. That's the one I did. I really just came back for special, so I can't tell you any real episodes. Any episodes Sparky, I don't know. I know he bit Vicky, and that was about it.
Hey, valuable. That's good.
But yeah, early in the series, I did watch it as much as anyone else would have watched it. It was pretty funny dynamic between Cosmo, Wanda, and Timmy. When the Poof added it for me, it was no downside with any of that. But it's just like any other shows on Nickelodeon. The further you get into it, a lot of the stuff just
slides a bit,
falls apart. And like I said, there was a continuity to the show.
Yes.
And a lot of it got, when they started making more episodes, a lot they reused the same things, and because they did that, it destroyed that continuity that you once had, like going back on rules or characters established formats. They decided to change them up and but they can't decide they want to be this way or that way. So yeah, I can vouch for the earlier seasons, but anything past Sparky, literally anything past that, I couldn't tell you. But for what it was a fun ride.
That's cool. That's cool. My end, again, I think the idea, the premise at its base of, here's a kid, middle class family, parents they work their ass off, but so he's kind of off on his own. He gets bullied at school. He's not doing great at school. He's bullied by his babysitter. The girl he likes doesn't like him. He's annoyed by the girl that he does like. And life just kind of sucks. It just sucks. You think about all of that at its core. Like, the synopsis is in the intro. But like,
it's just an average shit that no one understands.
Yes, but if you did understand it, like, that's it. At its core, it's just, man, this kid is not having the most fun with his life. He might be in a middle class house with, parents that do love him, but fuck, like, got this babysitter that's an asshole. School sucks. He's not having his best life. So this idea of these fairies that come in and can just that can be around, give him the support, but also wish almost whatever he wants. It's an awesome idea. It's an awesome premise to be around. It's like this awesome dream come true. And again, on top of, like you guys mentioned, this rule set that they built was fantastic. The evolution of Dove rules and learning about Fairy World, and what I always loved as a kid was learning about, like, the threats to Fairy World, the anti-fairies, the how that would affect the real world. How sometimes the balance would tip on either direction, real world or Fairy World, and it really presented you with this lore that was very well built and just layer by layer secured very well. And just briefly, as you guys talked about, as the years went on, it just began to deteriorate, and that's just because it didn't follow its rules. It didn't follow its own structure, and so when you do that, you lose the value that made you brilliant in the first place. By the time, like you said, Mark, by the time season 10 comes around, and by the time that comes around, I mean, I was a kid that was, like, very young, 5, 6, 7, when I first started watching Fairly Odd Parents.
I'm about to say, like, you're a kid when fucking season 10 happened?
And by the time Fairly Odd Parents was at that end point, or at season 10, I was, like, either in or out of high school, like, right on that edge. I think I was out of high school by that point. And it's like, that's insane. Like, that's a long-running show, and by that point, you are going to have some things that suffer. Notably, most of us wanted them to move on. Just like the Ash Ketchum thing with Pokemon. Most of us that had seen the show for years, we had seen it decline. Can we see a new character? Can we see new fairies? Can we see a new version of this? Because to me, the potential of Fairly Odd Parents was always there. And can we just get some new fairies with a new kid that's in a new situation? In the Chloe situation, she didn't seem to need fairies. She was happy. So it's like there was no need for that. And
she had a lame backstory that didn't
but it still didn't help. That's
it didn't really, like, what is the word, like, it didn't really, like, explain to us why she would still need fairies. Yeah. It's not, like, much of a big backstory, because her life around all that is still just fine, especially her introduction, because, like, everyone's treating her better over Timmy, and Timmy's just getting treated like extra shit around her presence. So, it still didn't make any sense.
Yeah, it's like, that was the thing, though. The decline was, like, everyone was becoming more simplistic. Everyone was losing the complexity and development that they had gained over years. They went back to their base form, or less than their base form, because you already had seen the potential grow, and now you'd seen it lessen, and it just made the show less interesting.
Here's the thing. They were repeating the same dynamic as with Chloe as with, like, Remy Bucks Aplenty, because Remy is very rich. He has a fine life. And like, Timmy's like, well, he doesn't have fairly godparents. It turns out he does. And
that's right.
And then, like, but the thing about Remy Bucks Aplenty is, like, his parents don't pay attention to him, and because of that, he's miserable. Chloe doesn't seem to have any issues with her parents. her backstory is like she like helped a monster. She helped like a monster like get a nail out of his foot, but like and after that the monster started like destroying the city. But like she was like after that everyone started disliking me. It was like, but we don't see that. From all we see is her being loved by everyone that hates Timmy.
Yeah. Is she from Dimmsdale?
Yes.
Yeah.
Chloe's from Dimmsdale?
Again, she's not.
No, she's not from Dimmsdale. She moved to Dimmsdale.
She moves to right. She's a new.
But while she's in Dimmsdale, her life is just fine.
Yeah. So again, like that. That's again. I don't want to spend too much more time on season 10 because it's just one of those things where this is a show at its bitter end. There's no real flavor to it. There's no real interest in going anywhere. And again, it's clearly cheaper now because the Flash looks terrible. It seems like they haven't had the time to master it and fit it with the characters. It's like it just looked much worse than the series had looked.
It's very Johnny Testy.
Yes, and it just doesn't fit with the style of the Butch Hartman style. That I mean, it's very iconic, and it has become more iconic as more of its follow-up shows and things like that have moved throughout.
I mean, speaking of follow-up shows, I like his final show, Bunsen is a Beast. Like I don't like the way that show looks, and I don't like the way that show is animated. I tried watching it; it's not good. And like they gave the same animation to Fairly Odd Parents, and it just doesn't look good on there either.
Yes.
And like the funny thing about Bunsen is a Beast is like because it's so animated so poorly. There was a short Butch Hartman. We talked about this a while before again.
I know what you're talking about.
There was a short where like Butch Hartman like did like a little mini crossover between all of the characters of the shows he worked on, with like Tough Puppy, Danny Phantom, Fairly Odd Parents. And at the end of that short, Bunsen is a Beast comes out, and he is animated in like the regular Butch Hartman style, and it looks more appealing in that style, in that style of animation.
It's literally,
and it's like if the show looked like this, it would be more bearable to sit through. And it's like it's weird that like I guess because they don't have much of a it's to save money and short of budget. Like it's just weird that like that the show Bunsen and Beast just like isn't animated like that, and Fairly Odd Parents also stops animating the way it used to as well. Because it doesn't seem like an artistic choice. No, it just like
it's a budget choice.
It looks very much like a budget choice. Like an artistic choice to change something that didn't really go so well was like when American Dragon changed his art style.
Ugh.
That wasn't because of budget. Like the director thought it was just the new director thought it would just look better that way. And
no, it didn't. It was so.
No one liked it.
I hated it so much.
Here's the thing: it's a fine art style. But coming out of the art style it originally had, no.
And again, I think what's funny is there's no one from born in like wherever you were born, like who's seen or grew up with American Dragon that likes the evolved version.
Oh, by the way, you want to talk about comparisons? Like, I'm not getting back to this.
I don't know who's honking, but like,
But like, you want to talk about comparisons, like to Danny Phantom? Danny Phantom's way better than American Dragon, even season 1.
Why? We don't have to compare that. That's like compare. I mean, like I'm not saying American Dragon is bad, but it's like it's mid at best.
If we're talking about season 1, specifically, it's mid.
The whole
season 2 got worse. Yeah, well, it's like a bad show. If you add season 2, it just kind of makes it a bad show by default.
Yeah. Now comparing Jackie Chan Adventures and Danny Phantom, I mean, now that right there's a tough one, isn't it, Mark? Go ahead. What's your choice?
I'd watch Danny Phantom. Easily.
All right. Hey, we were going through Saturday morning cartoon. It's
our podcast. We can do what the fuck we want.
Oh yeah. All right.
It's my podcast. I can do what the fuck I want.
I can push.
My studio, my equipment, my time.
The Fairly Odd Parents will be right back on Nickelodeon.
Now back to more Fairly Odd Parents on Nickelodeon.
All right, so let's go ahead and move on. Sorry, you didn't spend time talking about what we do.
What?
Fairly Odd Parents.
Nope. I did talk about it.
Okay.
He did.
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
We all did.
Sorry.
The show sucks. We all agreed that.
Yeah, sorry. We were, it was everywhere. So we started talking about American Dragon. I got off track. All right. So let's get to, obviously, look, like I said, Fairly Odd Parents, long running, very long running series, very memorable.
Yeah, long.
But you end up getting to the bigger things. You had the Jimmy Timmy Power Hour, the Pooh Special, all these many moments. One of the more valuable, what the fuck was that?
A yawn.
You just yawn into me? You open yawned. And then that yawn.
He's doing a breath check.
It was boom.
Does his breath smell good or not? You never.
It went boom. And it went.
That what that was on the screen?
Yes.
It became visible.
Well, no, but I could see
you can see
your elbow. And your elbow's here.
Dude, I was seeing green. I was seeing green mist come from your mouth.
What the fuck?
I apologize. I was trying to block it.
I just saw the green mist from his mouth just burrow up Brian's nose, and he's no, boy, no.
Let's talk about the Channel Chasers movie here. Now we're gonna get to obviously the feature detail, make it sweet, simple, keep it moving. This was written by Butch Hartman and Steve Marmol. Now those two were actually, obviously critical on Danny Phantom as well. This duo just works together very well. Obviously, I think. Unfortunately, Marmel left after season 3 of Danny Phantom, so maybe the problems that you had of Phantom were... Well, then again, you thought it was cheesy the whole time, so never mind, Mark. Music director...
You know what? Maybe my issue is season 3.
Yeah.
I just don't like Butch Hartman anymore.
Jesus! Music director is Guy Moon, of course. He did the Fairly Odd Parents and Danny Phantom theme, along with many of those iconic Fairly Odd Parents songs. Icky Vicky, Chip Skylark's Shiny Teeth song.
The song about pumpkins?
I don't know about that. I didn't check the credits on that one, but... he's...
No. You said Icky Vicky. I was the song about pumpkins?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, the good reference from...
That's the joke. That's a Simpsons reference. When he just says that's... Shut up.
I was waiting for you to, have the success of his... Anyway, this is the 25th episode of Fairly Odd Parents' 4th season, and I don't think I have the cast on the board here, so I can quickly run through. You have Tara Strong, of course, as Timmy Turner, and a variety of voices. She is a legendary in the industry, so, briefly, though, Tara Strong is Timmy Turner. Duran Norris as Cosmo. I didn't realize he was also Timmy's dad this whole time. I'm going to be honest with you. I had no clue that Cosmo's voice actor was played the same guy as...
He got a great range.
Same guy as what?
So, I didn't realize that Cosmo was played by the same guy that plays as Timmy's dad. I had no clue.
Yeah.
I knew you were going to say, I knew I was going to... Whenever I say this about, voice actors, he's yeah, of course. What do you... Duh. How did you not know, fuckface?
By the way.
That's the joke.
There you go.
Yeah. Good. Let me keep it moving. Suzanne Blakesley as Wanda, who was also Timmy's mom, who again, I did not know, but apparently I'm out of the loop on this. Great, it was I think it's Gary, but I said Gray Delisle. I think it's, who voices Vicky and Tootie. You have Carlos Alizraki as Mr. Crocker, Jason Marsden as Chester, and Gary Leroy Gray as AJ. All right, so
It's sort of dried out when you were reading the voices.
All right, I'll do this again. Shut the fuck up.
Okay.
All right, I'll make it more fucking exciting. All right, so everyone can get a boner after they hear me read this shit. All right, so let's run through the fucking All right, let's run through the cast here. You have Tara Strong.
She's everything.
Absolutely legendary. You can't go wrong with Tara Strong. Obviously Timmy Turner and a variety of voices here, but just key main character.
Everything.
Duran Norris is Cosmo. Also Timmy's dad, funny enough.
I think he also plays Timmy's dad in the friggin' Drake Bell live action movies. They play the same character.
Interesting.
In live action.
Interesting. It's a shame he was a part of that abomination. Suzanne Blakesley.
I still love the. It's so perfectly aged well. But there was a promo for that movie where Timmy Turner was I wish I was Drake Bell, and now people edit him in jail.
Yes. Never forget those edits, man. Fantastic. Suzanne Blakesley as Wanda and Timmy's mom. Gray DeLisle as Vicky and Tootie, Carlos Alizraki as Mr. Crocker.
Who's the voice of Rocco?
Jason, now I can hear that. That one's obvious right there. That one you can tell. You can tell. Jason Marsden as Chester.
Max from the Goofy movie.
And, holy shit.
You didn't know that? Or are you reading something else?
Now I see it.
Now, after all this time, dude, as a kid,
Oh no, I didn't mean to see the voice. I
I
mean,
had no
now
fucking
I
clue
see
that was Max. And
the
like,
Mark and Brian dynamic of. Oh,
Now-
you don't know this voice actor?
who, Max?
Yeah,
I did. Oh, yeah, that's the one.
He was at, I went to a Goofy movie panel. He was like like him and, Bill Farmer. Bill Farmer, huh?
What?
Fuck you. Him and Bill Farmer is like, they have such good chemistry together.
That's good.
They are the real life Max and Goof.
Yeah, a lot of incest, father son. Yeah, good stuff.
Wow, you're weird. That's what he sleep. That's what he thinks about in the bathtub at night, people.
Gary DeRoy as AJ, and that's sort of our key cast. Production companies, of course, Frederator, who I talked about in the Cartoon Network Life and Times panel. Of course, he took his skill from over at Hanna-Barbera of building a massive team of animators and went over to Nick after Warner Brothers merged with Cartoon Net with Turner Broadcasting, aka parent company of Cartoon Network, moved over to Nick Animation Studio, and that's where Fairly Odd Parents started. So, Frederator, Yep. So, yeah. And that was a mistype, that one. All right, so let's get into this movie. It's only been, runtime mark, 1 hour, 5 minutes.
1 hour and 4 minutes.
Oh, I was so close. Someone give me a goddamn fucking award. I was right on the money. All right.
You cheated.
I did. I have a timer right here. It's in my heart. All right. Let's get into the
That's going to
show.
stop very soon.
Oh, eventually. Mark, it all stops. Everything stops. In the words of Papa John himself, what is it? Shit's coming. Shit's gonna go left soon. I think he was talking about all the shit that's coming to the end of the world and all that. It's great. I love when he does that, you know. All right, let's get into this. So we start obviously. It's
250 years
Dimmsdale
in the future.
with a typo. 20 years into the future of Dimmsdale, and shit's taken a left turn. You've got this dystopian future action sequence, and what I noted was, and as a kid watching it now, anytime, this is awesome. This was always just an awesome way to jump in. Fantastic. Love the ninja outfit. Love the idea. Love the premise. Love the fact that it's Chester and AJ. On this hoverboard thing. It's great. What do you think, Martin? What do you think about it?
Oh, that's
Talk
fine.
to me. Come on.
I do. I enjoyed it as much as anyone else did.
What about all the people that didn't enjoy it?
The iconic scenes they went through as they passed through it. I did laugh out loud when I watched it again.
Yeah.
At the little ending part here, when they just led him right to the secret base. I thought it was pretty funny.
Oh, AJ just
went, yeah, I thought it was pretty funny. I also thought I also really like Chester's design. Chester's design is like,
yeah.
These are like action hero designs.
Yes. Absolutely.
Like 80s action hero designs. I like how over the top these muscular they made these designs for these future versions.
Yeah. Mark, one thing I like about this is you learn right off the bat, because this in itself is like this dystopian sci-fi action movie attempt here, which again we're going through Channel Chasers, which is like you get these alternate takes through Fairly Odd Parents. I love that you still get a lot of the Fairly Odd Parents' charm, timing, and humor through this sort of meant to be darker thing. Like you get Chester's dad in the fucking tub seat moment, right? You get these moments where you get these pauses of jokes and humor in there that fit the Fairly Odd Parents universe, even though it's a sort of, it's meant to be this more serious tone. And I think that fits very well because this is a Fairly Odd Parents special.
When comedies do that, it's like a safety net. Like, don't take it too seriously.
Yeah.
Whenever, even some of the Marvel movies do that, where it's like, action scene, and then joke or snappy dialogue, and it's like, don't take it too seriously. We're all fun and games here.
Absolutely.
But like, it is funny. I do like when he stops just to blow up the school.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did overall though? Good, cool sequence to you?
It's a cool sequence, and it does give interest to the. I mean, it does what.
It pushes it up a level because
it pushes it up a level
that's television. It's
like going to a starting like any kind of special or episode with like a dystopian future, does make the episode more like interesting because like it's not only storytelling. Like, how did things get like this? Let's see how it happened.
Yeah.
Like, what's the mystery here?
Again, this is the one thing I liked about just brief tangent. That's the one thing I liked about Star Wars Rise. Episode 9 was they started out and it was like this cool chase sequence with Poe and Finn, and they're like in the Falcon and they're trying to escape.
They fly now. They fly now.
Not that part, you fuck. Yeah. But it's a chase sequence in the Falcon, and they're trying to get away from these TIE fighters. But that's the opening scene, I think, in episode 9, and it's like. Again, you just get into the action immediately. I like that idea.
And then, like 30 minutes later, they fly now.
There you go. That's all you need to know about it.
I really like the voice actor's portrayal of Vicky when the rest of your voice.
Oh yeah,
I did like that better than her normal voice that she had throughout the movie.
Yes,
and I was hoping that
that she would progressively turn to that.
No. I'm hoping that at some point during the movie we would hear it again.
We do.
Do we?
Don't we hear it in oh no, don't they have a flashback? No, the flashback she doesn't say anything, right?
Yeah.
When Timmy's giving younger Timmy information, there's no knowledge, there's no voice of her. Right?
Yeah. But I like that it was
you like raspy Vicky.
Evil.
The thing I don't get
she's already evil. The
thing I don't get is like I mean there's a lot of like logic plot holes in this, but it's Fairly Odd Parents a dumb funny comedy, so it's like it's not meant to be picked apart, but these are just fun.
It has rules, but it's like sometimes in certain situations.
So like, why does Vicky need anyone to go back in time? Because she's successful.
We hear the backstory. We get the backstory. The backstory was that mature Timmy snuck in. He earned her trust. He clearly slept with her at one point, because you want to have sex with babysitter, and then. She trusted him enough that he was the one to sacrifice himself to go back in time and she believed that he was actually on her side. That's how that goes.
But why does
that's my headcanon. I don't know about you.
Why does Vicky need anyone to go back in time? Because she's already successful in the future.
Because fuck.
Why? Yeah. What the?
Wait. Why do they need to go back in time?
I think that she knew.
She wants to stop the whole thing from.
I think the only thing I can think of is that she knew there were two remotes.
But they don't say that.
They don't say that. No,
the future woman probably knew that there were two remotes because she probably
that's a good
fighting Timmy in the past. Maybe at that point in the movie where he became 18, she actually did get him.
But I will say they don't say it, but then again, they never tell us that it's remotes in the beginning anyway. Because the point is they don't want to show you that's the remotes.
Yeah, but she knows. She knows.
Because
maybe at some point she's like, okay, I got to get this other remote.
Because the only way they can go back in time... Look, here's the thing, Mark. Even though you're asking the question, they're clearly going after it for a purpose, right? They're going after Chester and AJ because they have the ability to go through time.
Yeah.
And that's the
fear.
They
took... I get why they had to confiscate that technology from them.
Yes.
But, like... I don't know why they it's not explained why they need to use it per se.
Most likely because there's a resistance force that has the ability to go back in time and stop Vicky from doing this. That makes a lot of sense.
Resistance force that went back in time.
At that point, you could just like, you know what? I do have this watch now. I do have this time thing now. Maybe I can just go back in time and get the other remote. Or something like that. I'm pretty sure it's the remote.
I just
for what reason? She's successful and there's nobody posing a threat anymore.
The threat is that AJ has a time machine. That is the point. Do you not understand?
She took that away, so why does she need to use it?
What I'm saying...
Because she's preventing that... I don't know what Vicky's...
There are sometimes...
Fiction.
Sometimes in fiction where villains would go back in time to make sure that this plays out like it's supposed to.
Yes. But I will say, Mark, you are correct. They do not, once she sealed it, there is no reason that he needs to go back in time. In fact, there's no reason that she needs to have a henchman to go back in time. In fact, you just broke my entire fucking brain for this movie, and I don't think there's any purpose for this entire film anymore. I really appreciate it. God damn it. Outside of the fact that the end, I think the end seals that this movie has very limited purpose as well. So, like, but moving on.
There's another plot.
Mark, you already fucked with my brain once.
There's another plot. We're gonna get to it, but I'm gonna point something out.
You know, Mark, I was
Is it
really
about the fact that Timmy is an adult?
No. Just keep going. We'll keep going. I'll point it out when we get to it.
All right, so we get thrown back into the present, and look, we know what's going on. Like we get the update from Jet Chubecha, which great name. Always love that name. Ridiculous. News anchor. He runs this editorial thing talking about, man, kids, the common parent thing, the common thing of any parent, any guardian that kind of is worried about entertainment being swaying their kids' perspective. Kids will emulate this stuff. And we've got to watch out for what we show our kids, because kids will do anything crazy that these shows show them to do. And, it's like a little bit of an inside baseball thing. I mean, Fairly Odd Parents is a show on a kids network. Kids will probably emulate some things from a Fairly Odd Parents episode, possibly. So, or not possibly, but definitely has happened. So it's like an inside baseball thing where, hey, here's a show talking about a situation. One of those shows in Fairly Odd Parents is MAHO-MUSHI, which is, as we talked about, Martin, this combo between Yu-Gi-Oh! And Dragon Ball Z. Right?
Just a lot of things anime in general.
Yeah, it's an amalgamation of
at least
a lot.
like within like 80s to 90s anime in general.
Yes, absolutely. And of course, this is the high point in the early 2000s of all of those merchandise-based anime, all those shonen and merchandise-based anime, where it's like, oh my god, okay, this is how buy this thing, buy these cards, buy this figurine, buy this that, buy this Pokemon, And it's the high point of that. Like, it's find out next week on this, So, also, perfect show to represent.
MAHO-MUSHI means nothing. They made sure they picked the title that means nothing. Because Charmin acts as Japanese friends. Does this mean anything? No, it's nonsense. Okay.
I thought MAHO-MUSHI would mean like you want to smush with someone's mom. Kind of makes sense.
Moving on.
So,
maybe in modern Japanese slang it does. Who knows?
Yeah, so, it's like, right after that, and of course, so, I don't know how, like, okay, I'm not going to go to the cliff. I'll run through pretty much everything I have notes-wise, and you guys can keep jumping in when you feel, but...
By the power of convenience.
By the power of convenience. So Timmy is shown literally to have emulated a ship, just like right after Jet has said all of this, he has basically this Star Wars destroyer out of the MAHO-MUSHI universe, and he's really not paying attention. He's just doing all this.
Has influenced him to become a terrorist.
He's become a terrorist, nearly doing a reverse 9/11, and almost hitting an aircraft. So he wishes for a bonsai bubble, and then this bonsai bubble just goes through the most inconvenient direction, right? Like we talk about 9/11 going through the worst direction. Here's Timmy Turner literally flying through his dad's office at the moment that he's about to get a fucking award, and here's Timmy Turner then reverse it straight into his mom's fucking house that she's gonna sell. Like a real estate house that she's selling. That is a glass house, very difficult to fucking sell. What does he do? Skadoosh! Yeah. Old Kung Fu Panda moves on it. And then they both run up to each other. Hey man, Timmy just fucked my shit up, and I can't believe it. And the other one's like, yeah, he fucked my shit up. I can't believe it. And then Timmy Turner falls straight the fuck down into them, and boom. Crazy shit.
This is like the type of humor Fairly Odd Parents does well, because it's like it did, like, at least the earlier seasons, because like it's all about timing and delivery. I love the joke about like just like inconvenient, like the it's just like the show's just about the jokes are about absurd inconvenience, and it's like, oh, I just got this place clean, and boom, dirt everywhere. And this scene where you see Timmy Dad's office like just like clean, and Timmy just like bounces everywhere and like wrecks shit. It's like it's funny, and then like they also like they just state the characters just state the obvious, or like state what they're doing, or what they're thinking. So it's like Timmy's dad comes in, And he's like, "Whoa! Here's this plaque for cleaning his office. Oh my God, it's dirty! This is where quick, take it!" Or, and then you go to Timmy's mom, and he's like, "Well, as soon as I hand you the keys to this house, that's really hard to sell. The deal's closed, and it's not my problem anymore." And goes in slow motion, and like Timmy just wrecks it right before he hands her the keys.
Literally, the guy says, "Hey, I wasn't gonna buy this shit at all.
Yeah.
You really, really brought me down on this. You really pushed me to buy it. Like, Jesus Christ." And then this bitch, because I'm gonna be honest. Like, usually the thing about like Timmy's parents is like, look, like, you kind of don't side with them very often in the situation in any given situation episodically, but in this instance, you're like, damn, like, I gotta side with Timmy's parents on this. You really fucked up, buddy. Like, they were in a good situation. They were doing pretty good, buddy. And you know, you just kind of threw yourself in the middle of both of these motherfuckers. Like, what the fuck?
He just did property damage both times.
Yes. Yeah.
That's probably gonna cost some money.
Yes.
Especially the mom.
Well, the mom way more. That's like,
Yeah.
that looks expensive. That looked like a glass mansion.
All right, so
Like
here's
some shit Bob Iger would have owned.
yeah, and
you
they
know.
catch Timmy, and he's like in a fuck ton of trouble. And here's the other plot hole. This is like a part of the series in general.
Oh, Jesus.
So usually, like, a lot of wishes are like Timmy makes a lot of wishes based off like the inconveniences in his life.
Are you about to bring up the TV in his room? Because we're gonna get to that. That's not.
Oh no.
Okay.
But the thing is, because like there's a lot of rules to the wishes.
Yes.
But like, Timmy doesn't really wish away certain inconveniences when he could, and like for a lot of episodes has the reason of that of being.
Are you about to bring up? Hey, Timmy, why don't you feed the kids in Africa, Timmy?
No.
Help?
What the fuck are you getting at? Wow, you are not letting. I do not know where you're going with this, dude. You are not letting me finish.
Wishing the house back, or
No, yeah,
Which-
you are not.
Oh,
Okay, yeah, because
you're talking about solving problems.
his problems. You fucking. This is why you listen before you fucking try to make an argument. Like you are like, I'm ready to argue with Mark. I'm going to wait for.
No,
Fuck you.
I was making a fucking joke about about him feeding starving African children, because like it's the 2000s. Those ads are in the middle of Nickelodeon. That shit is on all
Fuck
the
that.
time.
Timmy needs to watch TV. But
Where he would see starving children in Africa. That's what I'm talking
I
about.
don't care. They don't. Well, they need those children need fairly godparents.
They technically
They
should.
probably already do.
In
have
this
fairy
universe, they
they're
technically
fine.
should.
If they're miserable, they have fairy godparents. If they're not
And those
miserable,
fairly- and
if
those
they're not
fairly-
that miserable, they don't have fairy godparents.
Why aren't
There's
those,
a reason for that.
Why aren't those Fairly Odd parents giving them food and water? Is the question.
They probably are. But they're not that miserable. Then they're happy with their like sad, pathetic lives. That's the rule of this world.
Fair
Like
play.
if they're truly miserable, they would have fairy godparents. There's rich people that have fairy godparents.
That is. It feels like they should have limited wishes.
Actually, no. Fairy godparents are only to the middle class and up.
Could you imagine? Holy shit! It's like a tax break. It's like you get more. You get more. But you were saying about
because like the reason for like Timmy doesn't wish away inconveniences or certain episodes because like Cosmo One are simply not there or they're simply doing something else.
Yeah.
In the moment, but like in this episode in this episode special, it's like even when Cosmo One are there, it's like Timmy could just wish to undo that specific issue where all the property damage or like what he just did to his family.
I think the reason why it doesn't solve the problem that it was both of these situations are affected in the moment. Like,
do they have a
like that? Like, no, I'm not that. But I'm saying like, well, that's I don't know. But I'm saying, but I'm saying like in that moment, like it's done. As in, even if he were to wish that, oh, can you like this house was now repaired. He left the deal. It's over. And even if he wished for his father's office to be refixed, that award was already given out. It's over. So I think the fact that it was done with immediacy, like the result or the consequences of his actions were then put on the parents immediately, gives it finality, and maybe that's the thing.
For story,
yeah, I think what Mark was saying, like
for story reasons, because like if
But
he
is
can
that
just switch
against the
that
rules?
back, there wouldn't be a story. But like for story reasons, it makes sense because there needs to be a story. Logically, this is just like another nitpick.
But
because
it's
like same thing I was pointing out.
that he can go back
no,
in
because
time.
he erased Cosmo memories in 50 years thing.
No.
But is that
the end of this special? He erases everyone memories of what just happened.
Yeah, so he could have done that. That's what I'm saying. He could have done that from the beginning.
Because the rule, it's not. You only have to apply later episodes. You can apply this episode.
So yeah,
That's the logic I was talking about. But like the thing is, for both things I mentioned, if they did that, there wouldn't be a story.
But also
that's a consistent issue on a lot of Fairly Odd Parents episodes where like, there's an inconvenience Timmy is dealing with, so he makes a wish against that inconvenience, but like he can just wish away the inconvenience that happened in the first place.
I thought this was. I used to think this was a very Loctite.
but
thing,
then again, we are putting too much logic into what.
No, because they still have a rule book, and
Yeah.
like this is the show that has a lot of sort of lore building, and all of that. I was going to be honest, like up to this point, I thought, damn, like this was a pretty solid story. That's well structured. Now, are we doing a little too much? I don't know, because we're just looking at it from a genuine perspective. And these are just little things where if you wrote it in a different situation, where maybe they left or they had to leave for some instance, or the fairies weren't around for a given time. But that's the thing, is you know, it is what it is. It's how far are they going with it is the question, with the rules of the universe, and does Timmy necessarily like care as a kid? That's the other thing, is you have to. It's always the convenient thing is always he's a kid. Who cares?
You can throw that logic out there. He's a kid. He's not thinking about much.
Yeah.
But like it's just, it is like you can. I mean,
I think you're right. I think
realistic.
you're right. I'm just saying devil's advocate. Like, people would say, "Oh yeah, he's a kid. It's a kid's show," and I don't think that at all. I think it's usually a pretty, in terms of its lore, again, well executed outside of.
Well, even in this story, I think they handle it well. Like you just gotta ignore the inconvenience for the sake of story. Like shows right there. It's like
Plausible deniability.
Yeah, like a lot of like other stories do that where it's like, why they don't just do this instead? Well, there wouldn't be a story if they just did that. It's too simple.
That's.
Do you want to have fun, or do you want the logic just explain everything away? I mean, what would you rather have?
No, I don't want. Again, this is I was.
No, I'm not saying. I'm saying I'm pretty sure the people who are delivering the show to us are saying, do you want to have fun, or do you want it to go like why this logically does not make sense?
Yeah, I just think that what Mark brings up, what you brought up, is not. It's not impossible to work around. That's the thing. That has affected me in this review so far, and we're only in the fucking beginning. That's what's fucking shocking.
That's the challenging thing about having the concept of like the fictional concept about wishes. It's like you can
magic is very flexible.
It's loosening and doing everything.
Yes. Yeah. Because again, that ties back to the end of the film where the special where again he rewrites everything. He does the Peter Parker wish in Doctor Strange, or reverse, because obviously the MCU.
I mean, it's the same thing like with people like because like the Infinity Gauntlet is just like the wish granting gauntlet, and like a lot of people think with Thor is like not Thor, Thanos was like he took his reason for like wiping half the planet is so there'll be more resources, and then everyone combat that with like, why not just have more resources? Why not just like make more resources in the world? And it's like, because there's no story without that. If you just do that.
Oh my god, yeah, that's another one.
Yeah.
So the family returns home, and it's gonna keep it moving. The family returns home, and Timmy is just literally like he's addicted to fucking the MAHO-MUSHI. And again, his parents are attempting to lay down the law, but like they are just not. Oh, this is way too far. They're just not fucking listening. They're not paying attention. He's not paying attention. He's not listening. So it's Timmy's bring Vicky in. And by the way, you brought up something earlier about this point in the film about Vicky and when Timmy says that she's evil and things. Did you want to bring that up now, or you just want to keep it moving?
Oh, you mean like I said earlier, at this point in the story, when they was laying in the law and telling about MAHO-MUSHI, he just suddenly switched to Vicky, and I was just like, wait, why did you bring her up into this? This is about what you did earlier.
Yes,
this has nothing to do with Vicky. I get that later on, like, because then they call her afterwards saying, hey, Vicky's gonna come up and do it. But before that, before
the parents even bring Vicky in, he's deflecting to Vicky. Like, now you could once again say
that's a kid.
That's a kid. And the kid's gonna be like, I don't care what you guys are saying, but Vicky's an asshole. And you guys, and I know where this is probably going as a kid. I probably know where this is going. You're probably gonna leave, and Vicky's gonna come over, and I'm a fucking douchebag. I can't watch TV. I wanna watch TV. I'm a fucking kid. Like, cool. And again, that definitely happened. Oh, fuck, Mark, you're still on the fucking stream. On the mindset of kids, you know. But, fuck. So let's keep it moving though. So again, once they leave, you kind of know how the situation's gonna go. Immediately, Vicky's on fucking edge, or he's on edge because Vicky's there and she's got the torture stuff laid out, and she also knows that he told his parents that she's evil, so she's got another bone to pick with him, and so he puts himself. Are you raising your hand?
I got you. Everyone, there's a part in the movie.
Is this middle school?
No, sorry. There was a part in the movie.
They're like, hey, buddy, hey.
They're all being watched on cameras and everything.
Oh, the AJ Chester situation.
And Timmy doesn't have.
And then he doesn't. He doesn't because I think she. You notice that when his parents actually ask, she's a little bit worried about it, and I think the thing is that. She knows that she can fuck with Timmy.
Don't be that way.
Can I go to the bathroom?
I knew it was coming. Asshole.
But you know, like she knows. Vicky knows that she can fuck with Timmy. That's been the whole stretch of Fairly Odd Parents up to this point. But his parents, it's like if they know really, she's fucked.
Why is she afraid of them compared to everyone else's peers?
Because she hasn't. I guess she hasn't.
That's her job.
And again, like that's.
So she gets her money.
Yeah.
Yeah, she babysits more people than besides Timmy.
Yes, but again, the point is that they still care, like they still do care about Timmy, as we learn later. They still care, and we don't know if Chester's parents necessarily care as much.
Don't give me a bad.
We don't know if AJ's parents care as much. Or what this? I think they do, right? They both love.
They freaking love Chester. Chester freaking loves Chester.
Well, then again, they're at AJ's house, so it's not. They're not at Chester. We don't know. We don't know.
They're at AJ's house. Okay.
Yeah, they're at AJ's house. So,
yeah, but then that makes sense because AJ's a freaking genius. Wouldn't he be able to counter all that?
Again,
bullshit?
now we're getting into the see.
Oh, actually, no. That's another plot hole. How does Vicky get that technology? Or where she gets it from?
Okay,
she's all from AJ. Okay, never mind. Okay, we got it.
No, it still doesn't make sense because why would she go off the fucking? Would she just steal? Like maybe she stole it. Whatever.
Or how would she know to set it up?
I'm sorry.
If you really want to think about it, it's like maybe Vicky was the one that went back in time first, and she used the $1 million that she won from being thick as an 18-year-old to get the fucking security cameras. Boom. And then so she had the fucking $1 million that she won from being thick, gets the security cameras and the lasers, because she's all into being evil and dictatorish and torture. So she doesn't spend it on a car or anything. She spends it on that shit. And that's her fucking thing. And that's what she spends it on. Boom. The end. Alright? Gotcha. There.
I'm sorry.
Alright? There. I'm waiting for Mark to say that's a plot hole.
Does she need to go back in time and all of that? Okay.
I'm saying you guys are right. These aren't massive, but they're minimal things that affect it. Now, Timmy barricades himself in the room and he witches immediately for TV, right? Like, but what I do love is again, as usual, when things aren't good, Cosmo and Wanda do give him a legitimate hey man, look. This shit, we don't like it. We don't think it's good. We don't even think you should have this at all. And you should definitely listen to you good?
I'm listening.
Okay. And you should definitely listen to your parents, and you should.
What I like about these moments is like sometimes like certain episodes like don't do this all the time, but like a lot of times they also remember like Cosmo and Wanda are also parents, and they're acting like parents, and there's a reason they agree with the parents because they also are parents. It's fairy godparents.
They're just unfortunately required like genies to also answer the fucking wish.
Yes.
If it's within the boundaries of the rules. So.
I think it was an animation mistake, but like when Timmy barricades the door, there was already a TV in there.
Ah, shit.
He never wished for the TV either.
Yeah. What?
He wished for the TV. The TV spawned under the goldfish bowl.
Yeah, he says, I got godparents who can give me whatever I want. Ding.
Yeah, but he does that once after he barricades.
There's a rule that says he has to say "I wish" because remember the episode when he was asleep at night.
That's not all the time. They can just poof shit. They forget that rule a lot. They do.
I know, but I was bringing it up like
they don't follow that rule.
I mean, how many times at school does he just look at them and they just go poof and they just like turn into whatever he's clearly wanting them to turn into in that moment?
Yep.
It's yeah.
Because like when he barricades the door, there was like a TV.
We are
just like
microanalyzing this.
Yeah, it's not microanalyzing.
I'm not saying it's a bad. No, this is not a bad thing. I just like I can't. I like we did this with Chicken Little. We did this with Jackie Chan Adventures. We did this with Atlantis. Like I just love the idea of someone coming in like they're talking about my favorite series, talking about my favorite special. I can't wait to hear. And it sucks. And they're just like their eyes just like shot. They're just like fucking crying and shit. I can't believe it. It's the truth, guys. Listen up.
Cinema sins. But yeah, there like it was just like I wasn't nitpicking. I was like looking like he's gonna go to that TV. And, like, they just poof another TV, like, under their goldfish bowl. Like, there was another TV there, just, like, right by the door. I thought he was going to go over there to that TV.
Interesting. Again, I didn't even realize. It
was in plain sight. It's not, like, a background detail either. It was just, like, in the foreground.
Yeah.
When he was barricading the door.
Yeah, I don't know if they just didn't realize it or not. I guess not.
I think that they have there's basic, like, model sheets for Timmy's room. How there are model sheets for characters and stuff. There's basically model sheets for settings, and they were just following the
model sheets
these for that room. And there's a TV there, and every episode there's always been a TV there.
And they forgot that the critical factor of this fucking episode special is
he needs a TV.
That he needs a TV. Okay. Yeah. So look, right, like. They get that like
destroying this for Brian, man.
Well, no, I'm good. Like again, I went through Atlantis already. Like I think of Atlantis as this was good. It's a good therapeutic session of realizing that again, once you truly meet your heroes as an adult, it changes you, right? And I'm meeting these things that are super nostalgic, that are very valuable, and it's like it adjusts your expectations. I mean, Butch Hartman sucks as well. So meeting that hero would be fucking pathetic. But again, so the cool thing is. You get all this wisdom from Cosmo and Wanda, and they're like, hey, man, look, we're not going to be with you forever, man. And, you got to understand that you got to listen to your parents because, like, they're way more important. And, come on, TV's fucking TV, which, again, very meta in the fact that this is a TV show talking about, hey, man, turn off the TV. But of course, Timmy, as a kid, hears this and goes, you know what, guys, fuck you. I want to be in the TV. So he shoves himself.
Hold on. Before that. He's pretty much like, before that he's like, it's cool, I'm gonna have fairy godparents forever.
Yes.
Right, and they explain the rules to him.
Yeah.
That's not now, that's later.
That's later?
That's later.
I lost track of like when
That's later.
Okay,
yes.
Go ahead.
I know, because he jumps back later, but we're about to go into the cable world.
I forgot, what was that? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so, yeah, he has them literally craft a remote that lets him jump through the TV. Thus, we get the channel chaser, and he goes into the. We've already got quite the loopholes already, apparently. All right, so then he's traveling through TV. What do you guys think of this visualization of cable? I think it's very like Matrixy, and again, to me, this feels like an interactive version of cable. Feels very obviously PS Vita's not out yet, but I think very.
It's cool.
I always like this. Yeah.
The use of CG is fun. Did you have a similar thing with the episode where Timmy goes into the internet?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's also like a fun visualization of like the internet when he does that. So these boxes, all these boxes are right here. These are just like these are pictures of like, some of the shows that we're gonna see from the special, and a lot of pictures of the staff from the staff of the Fairly Odd Parents and Butch Hartman's Family.
Yeah, I did see them.
That's cool. That's cool. Might as well, you know.
So the only thing is, like, it would be more cool if you got to see like images of other Nickelodeon shows.
But then they wouldn't be on multiple channels, unless this is Pluto TV, which is owned by CBS, Viacom, Paramount Plus. Because then they would have.
We don't know what
channels.
The world if like all these shows are on different channels, but like.
Then again, they are because Rugrats is not on the same channel as Blue's Clues, so technically.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't matter. I mean, I'm just saying like it would have been a fun cameo moment, like Jimmy Neutron, Rugrats,
it's also.
Ginger.
Yeah, this is also, again, we're at the point where we're like, this is basically TV Multiverse of Madness, and again, they do a better job. I talked about this, I think, to you on the phone, or either earlier today or on the phone, but like, this is like, the thing about Channel Chasers is, like, well, the first thing, the thing about Multiverse of Madness is the ideas that they have for their multiversal concepts are like puddle level depth, and they don't really expand them further. What I love about Channel Chasers is they're all, like, it's still puddle level depth in the alternate versions of what they're bringing to the table, but you get several different versions of of shows and goddamn, you get several different versions of shows and things like that. So
this is kind of a mini review of Multiverse of Madness, but like, Multiverse of Madness, the problem with Multiverse of Madness,
we have a ScreenBlast review of it, by the way, guys. So
besides the problem with Multiverse of Madness, is like, it doesn't have a mystery.
Everything.
It doesn't have but it doesn't have like a mystery box element.
It doesn't need a mystery box. It just needs to be a good.
No, shut the fuck up.
The fuck?
You're not letting me finish. You were arguing with me before I finished my fucking sentence.
J.J. Abrams' mystery fucking box.
I'm not that mystery box. You fucking idiot. Let me finish. God damn it. The mystery box element of like where. I can end all of this. This is my domain, motherfucker. What the fuck you gonna do?
Should have gone for the head.
Well, but like, it doesn't have the mystery box element of like, where we're going to next. The characters don't know. We don't know. What is this place? I like that. Like when they're going through channels, it's like, where are they now? Oh, they're here. Where are they now? Oh, they're here. Huh.
Yeah, it's just curiosity. It leaves you curious, and I do love that. Even though this is Channel Chasers made in the core point of cable, it also is. Basically the billions of streaming services we have now, so you could basically do the same thing with streaming. It's like identical. Like, hey, we're going. He's in the serververse. He's in the serververse. He's in the cloud. He's in the serververse of Space Jam 2. He's gonna meet Algae Rhythm. I'll never forget Algae Rhythm, aka Don Cheadle, aka War Machine, aka the Skrull that we never knew was a fucking Skrull. Secret Invasion, thank you very much. Moving on.
You had to go through so many like fucking AKAs to get.
I did, because that's welcome to the it's you brought up Algae Rhythm, fucking garbage. All right.
I didn't bring up Marvel though.
That's who he is. He's Don Cheadle. All right, moving on. So he travels through, and of course the first thing we see are the Futurellis, which is basically the Jetsons. Look, like Mark, you have any thought? I'm gonna keep it moving through these.
Okay, no, we don't have to. You can just name the You can just name like the references off because like we're going through the Futurellis and then we go through Rugrats.
We go through Carpet Critters, which is Rugrats, which again I love. So I love this take on Rugrats where they're brain dead fucking babies, but I also. So here's the thing: I can't tell if the take is that they're brain dead fucking babies, or if it's because Timmy is literally like the whole core point of now. Because you showed so many plot holes, I don't think this is anymore. But if it is, it'd be great that Timmy's lesson is to accept growing up and eventually that he will have to mature past a certain point, and that going backwards to the size of a baby is something that he wouldn't be able to mentally even get what the fuck they're talking about because they're so fucking immature. Like I can't tell if that's what they're thinking, but I think that would be an interesting reason. I think that's just headcanon though, because I think the whole
I don't think they're thinking that far.
Yeah.
And exactly. they go to the parody.
Heavy Hal.
Heavy Hal.
Fat Albert.
Okay, so
I love Bill Cosby.
From this, you can just name just name off these references because at this point, well, with these parodies, they're not very deep. Also, they're like the commentary is like there's not very much commentary, or it's like, this is Butch Hartman's, most of these shows are stuff like we're gonna see is like stuff Butch Hartman grew up with.
Yes.
And, or some of these are just his perspective on these shows.
Yeah.
So what I'm getting from this is like, oh, I guess he just doesn't see the appeal of Rugrats. He doesn't really like Rugrats. Or like...
Yeah, it feels like a dig at Rugrats.
Yeah, it's more, or, when like, you get to the Futurellis and it's like, there's no real commentary here. It's just like, he's in the future and these like, parody characters are making, like...
Very simple
references.
Yeah. I was kind of getting that, like, with the, like, it was like he was trying to insult him. But then I was like, no, there's no way that... But then now you're bringing up that they add a little more dialogue when he specifically was in that area. It made me thinking like maybe he is, or maybe they are just taking a dig at him.
Again, I think these are soft hit. Like these are look.
Shows on the same network take digs at each other.
Yeah, if you have a show, like do whatever you want and have fun with it. This is like. I'm sure people at Rugrats were laughing their ass off, like, look at the way they fucking made our fucking characters. It's so stupid. Like, I would laugh my ass off. It was like, fucking Rugrats deserved this shot too, because Rugrats was the gold. They were the gold for Nick forever. They were the most popular thing on Nick until SpongeBob came around and Fairly Odd Parents as well. Like, it was huge. Rugrats was fucking huge, man. That's why they got the movie, and the movie was huge. But like. It's fun to take shots, I can imagine. The Jetsons, it feels like, again, like, very simple, like, I guess he may not have, like...
Stop this crazy thing! Yeah, I remember that line.
And then, again, Fat Albert, it's just like, I think he's, like, the whole take is funny, where it's just like, they're in the fucking junkyard, I'm playing with a pooper scooper guitar, oh, fuck, this is gross. Like, I do love that. That's a funny ass. That's a gross ass.
Well, I mean, that's the only commentary they're playing in the junkyard. That's the commentary about that show.
Yeah, I know. I just mentioned it.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's the only.
Again, that's what I mean by it being shallow depth. Like again, like this is
because there's no like because like Family Guy or even like Tiny Toons and Animaniacs. They actually when they make fun of certain shows, they actually have commentary on it where it's like isn't it funny how this show is just like this? And it's like, yeah, that is pretty funny. Where Fairly Odd Parents is like, hey, it's that show. We're doing a parody of that show. It's the show.
Yes. And again, I think that's why, again, like, I don't mind the idea of it being shallow depth because its point is the vastness of cable. At least the journey of the vastness of cable seems to be the key point that he wants to ride home is like, the journey throughout is the vastness. I don't, like, if we were going to do that, then we would need to spend like 5-10 minutes in every one of these, get a little deeper with the characters, learn a little more about the set. Like, I think I'm good with this, like, little brief, like, cardboard cutout, like, almost comic strip version of, like, their interpretations. I like this like, little brief, almost, like I said, comic strip level interpretation of the characters. Moving on, so...
I was gonna say, like, these are fine, because they're mostly quick, but, like, these are definitely, like, a sign of, like, they're just kind of padding things, because it's just like, we're here.
Again, I don't know if it's
just a visual gag.
It's just a compliment.
Well, do you know why this was made?
Well, yes, Mark, break my brain a little more. Why the fuck was this made?
Oh, no, because the special before this Abercatastrophe was received really well, so even by Nickelodeon, and they were asking Butch Hartman, hey, can you do another special? Like, and like, they didn't really have another special on them, but it was like, they just wanted another special.
Did they not write they didn't write the parts of the Jimmy Timmy Power Hour? That was Timmy?
Was that before this?
That was before this.
Timmy
was before Channel Chasers.
I'm not sure about the history of that, but like,
so they could have been working on 2 at once because they came out both in 2004.
Well, they wanted a Fairly Odd Parents Pacific special.
Okay.
I guess it's more treated as
an
event.
Like, at some point, I'm sure there had to be dialogue back and forth. There had to be written content for Channel Chasers 1 because that came out in 2004. And then 2 came out pretty quick because that was 2005. So they were clearly working on that a bit. And then you have, obviously, this. So, I mean, while writing the rest of the show as well. I don't think that this is... As much as we've been looking at it critically, I don't think this is... you know, I don't think this is like a rush for time creation.
It's not rush for time. I'm just saying like they were pressured to make another special, but like I'm not sure if they had like they had an idea for like maybe an hour-long special, but not for like a overly hour-long special.
Actually, I mean, this is an hour and 10, so that'd be a 90-minute. You know, if you had commercials and all that, that's like right 24.
I think an hour-long special would be like
24.
Would be like 40 or 50. Like for
because it's 24, 48, and it's
no. I mean, if they were like to make a special for the slot of an hour,
yeah.
It would be like what 40 or something minutes, like
Yeah, if it was an hour, it's 40-some minutes.
Yeah,
so this is like this is a 90-minute.
This is an hour and 12 minutes.
Yeah.
But like, I think like some of this is like the TV stuff is padding.
I mean, they did.
Well, again, it's multiverse of this is like multiverse of Matt. You're traveling through these.
Yeah, right before.
There's not much. They just go through certain channels where there's not much happening.
Yeah, but he said he only had an up and down button on the remote, so he can only go through it like that.
Well,
yeah, but no, there's like some channels. There's some channel sequences you can just cut out and you still get the point across.
No,
the thing is, like some of these are like nonsense. When they just go through the Looney Tunes world, it's just like nothing happens there.
I feel like you're missing the point. The point is, I think they're admiring or critique or doing just quick comic strip level critiques or praise of a thing that they either like or don't like, and that's the journey. It's not we are going to spend 10 minutes and delve deep into the character lore of how we interpret Fat Albert as a one-on-one personality style in the Fairly Odd Parents universe. I don't think that's the take. I think it's just we were going to make I think what they came up with as a concept for this like multiversal cable network travel time is we're going to do a comic strip level critique of things that we like or dislike, and what are a few IP that we like. We like Rugrats, we like Batman, we like Flintstones, we like Jetsons, we like Fat Albert, we like Blue's Clues. And then I'm sure Nick dropped in a few themselves. They probably said, hey, can you do a Blue's Clues one? Can you do a this and that? Like, or maybe they wanted to do that. Like, that's up to them or not. There were, like, I think that's literally it. And I also think that they had fun taking a little bit of time going into stuff that was owned by Warner Brothers that they couldn't do themselves. Like the Tom and Jerry stuff and like I said, like, they're brief, but it still is like this little comic strip level moment. Like if you're reading this in like a graphic novel or whatever, like this is a fun little journey that's just a time warp through channels in a brief time. Like I think what you're looking for is a longer stretch, deeper delve. Like it feels like you want the expectation to be they should have spent a little more time digging into what.
No, they don't need to spend any more time. I'm just saying some channels can just be cut out because they just like they don't really have commentary. Just like look at that thing.
Well, no, but the fun is that you see them in their interpretation. That's the point.
I know my point. It is fun, but like my point is, it is like it seems like it's just there. Some of those are just there.
It's all pointless. This whole thing is pointless. You already brought it.
There's a story there. There's a story there around all this.
Yes.
But like some of those parts, just like are just like, especially like again the Looney Tunes part. There's no commentary there.
There's no
Looney Tunes. They're kind of arguing the same point in different ways.
Right, I know, but I'm just saying, like, it's if you're bringing up that some pieces are pointless, and I will wrap here because you're right. I don't want to loop around. It's literally just that it's the visual and the attempt of like, hey, what if the Fairly Odd Parents creative team thought about this, came up with this, and was like, all right, let's say you had a 90-second scene with this character or these type of characters. How would you draw them? What would you make them look like in this universe? What kind of joke would you make briefly? And that's it. And then you move on. And I think that's fine.
I get that. They're not, for some of them, they're not doing anything with that.
Yeah, I know you're mad at the Looney Tunes thing. That was quick and brief, and that's fine. Like, I think it's just that they wanted to see the Looney Tunes and push off it, like, in a quick... Dude, the genetically modified whatever the fuck is like fucking golden, and that doesn't even get a visual look. You don't get a visual look at it at all. It's just you get the image of them.
That was actually commentary because that was a funny name.
Yes.
There was that's the commentary there. It's like it's a funny long name. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle is like a ridiculous name.
Yes.
Like that was actual commentary.
All right. So let's get back to the Special here. So now, at the same time as they're traveling through all this, Vicky actually gets into Timmy's room, but Cosmo turns himself into, or Wanda turns Cosmo into Timmy right before, so that it's like, all right, this shit's not gonna go weird and wacky. Vicky then uses the opportunity of, like, you know, Cosmo just losing it in front of Vicky, to take a picture of Timmy in underwear and then blame him for a ton of things he didn't do. Like, talk about obviously we've seen Vicky be an asshole. You know, this is nothing new, but it's just like, damn, if you haven't seen it in a while, it's like, damn, Vicky is an absolute fucking bitch. You know, like, she calls up the parents, hey, look at this. Like, man, this shit that he did is insane. We also get to see that future Timmy is spying on what he thinks is younger Timmy, but is actually Cosmo. And, yeah. So, at the same time, moving on through, you have the Johnny Quest. Now, here's the thing. This is the first show where there's at least some sort of minor journey involved here. Very minor, because I heard from Mark here, very puddle level, not a lot, and they could have done more. I understand. Now, they do a little more of Johnny Quest. This is clearly a show that Butch Hartman must have liked.
Yes.
Because, like, man, they spend way more time, like, commenting with them, you know, a lot of, like, just action sequence and all. Spend some time
there's actual commentary here, because it's just like these kids, and they just, like, recklessly let them go on dangerous adventures with weapons.
Yes, absolutely. And they actually give Timmy a weapon, and now, look, he wants to show Cosmo Wanda this massive weapon, and, you know, it's like, cool, you know. And we'll bring it back in a second, but, you know, Cosmo actually mentions, like, briefly, like, just as they try to tell him, hey, you have to acknowledge the fact that this shit, you have to take it a little more seriously. Cosmo says, hey, you know, nothing's gonna really hurt Timmy until he's older, and it's like, he wants to know what's going on, and Wanda explains the whole natural timeline. This is where we get the understanding of when and how the structure works. Look, kids get older, they turn into teenagers, they end up forgetting about fairies, and they live their lives, and the fairies move on as well. And that's the journey that's supposed to go on.
It's weird, because this is, like, new lore, and it's weird that it took us to get to season 4 to get to this one.
But that's why, yes, indeed. I do agree. Like, you would think that this would be much earlier referenced.
Yeah,
because,
like,
you know, the question is, how much long did they have them, and all that. Like, it's a question that I do think is interestingly answered. Like, I do like the idea and the structure, very much like an imaginary friend type deal.
Yeah, I know. A big piece of lore we got earlier in one of the seasons was, like, when nobody can see that, so nobody can find out that Timmy has fairly godparents, or else they go away. And I love the example they give of that, because, like, it's a little girl, and she just, like, has her family godparents, and, like, just a guy just walks up to him, and it's like, hey, are those fairy godparents? And she's like, yeah, and they just poof away.
I forgot about that. Holy shit. They wiped him out of the fucking... Oh my god, they wiped him out. Holy shit, he's done. He is dust. So, they wiped him out. So, unfortunately, Vicky and Timmy's parents come in as he's holding this giant fucking weapon in front of a TV, by the way. He wasn't supposed to have a TV, and he has a fucking weapon. Okay, alright. He accidentally drops the weapon, which destroys the entire second floor. And,
somehow fire off all the shots.
Yeah.
One blast.
Yes, and Timmy's dad, again, loses an award of cleanliness house.
Yeah, he just comes, the guy, like, his eye comes out of nowhere in their house.
I
decided to give you a second chance, Turner.
Yes, to Dinkelberg. And you get Timmy's dad saying, you deliberately disobeyed me, basically. You get the Mufasa line, basically.
Quick, take this plaque! And this extra raise!
And it's funny because he takes the plaque and he gives it to his fucking dog. That's how pointless these plaques are for Dinkelberg. Like, he gives it to his fucking dog.
That Vicky apparently gave him a better plaque, too.
Yes.
Because Vicky gave him a plaque of his own. He was like, I'm going to show off to Dinkelberg. It's like, wow, that's just like as shiny as this plaque Vicky gave to me.
Oh, shit.
Like, why did Vicky give him a plaque?
Jesus. Well, special reasons, man. You don't need to know. So, Timmy's remote, of course, because there's a TV, my mom doesn't know what the fuck this remote does. She's like, hey, man, you fucked up. You fucked up, and you keep fucking up. So I'm giving her the remote. You fucked up. So she gives him the remote, even though you would think it would tie to the TV, so you'd probably take the TV.
And the father takes the gun.
and the father takes the gun.
Trying to blow Dingleberry's house.
Yeah. So look, like after all that, it's like boom. Timmy's like, fuck it. I am going back to the TV. Fuck all of you. Fuck this noise. I'm going back to the TV. And Timmy's future self also follows him in, and that's when you get thanks. I didn't realize I had this fucking thing here. That's when you get this fucking strawberry shortcake Paula pound cake sequence, which is actually a pretty, I'd say, like almost a Robot Chicken level sketch idea here.
Yeah, this is actually funny.
That one's a pretty good one.
Okay, another little plot hole inconvenience. They don't state that Timmy can just wish for the remote back.
He wishes for a second. Oh, but
he wished for a second one.
Yeah.
They don't outright state he can't wish for the other remote back. They just kind of let Vicky have it. That's not against the rules to ask for the remote back.
Right. You're saying that Timmy should have asked for the remote back?
I'm saying that Timmy should have
just wished for the
remote back. For the remote, or for the other remote to go away.
Oh, yeah. No, I've given up on all the plot hole. I know
that's the one I want to point out. I don't care about I'm talking about for the audience.
Oh no, you're right. You're absolutely right. Yeah. So yeah, we get the Paula pound cake, strawberry shortcake sequence because Timmy's future self falls into another channel, and ends up with the beautiful line, "Get back, you frosted freaks!" Fucking gold, man. I love look, as much as Alec Baldwin's going through it, I love his voice. His voice is fucking awesome.
Speaking of Alec Baldwin, it's like I wonder if they got him for this because he was already on set for the SpongeBob movie. Because I know they said Butch Hartman is friends with him, but he was doing stuff for the SpongeBob movie. I think either had to be like earlier than this.
What was he in the SpongeBob movie?
Dennis. He was Dennis. You want to look it up while I pause?
Alec Baldwin was Dennis?
Yes. Well, I can...
Is Dennis like the bubble blowing bubble bit? Who the fuck is
the
Dennis?
big guy? Isn't the villain?
The big guy in the fucking... The Cyclops?
Dennis. In the SpongeBob movie?
Yeah. Who the fuck is Dennis? You know, if you just told me who the fuck Dennis is, we can move on. I just need to know who Dennis is. Like, is his voice used? Okay, alright.
Do you know?
What the fuck?
Yeah. The big guy with the shoes. And you start to stomp him.
Yeah, the Cyclops.
He's not a Cyclops.
He's not a Cyclops.
I know he's not a Cyclops, but they call him a Cyclops in the beginning, right?
Do they?
Do they?
The big guy, the Marine guy with the big foot. Is that him?
He looked like a shirt. He looked like a cowboy. He's just
Oh, that's him.
Got the big old.
Yeah. Okay, with the cowboy hat and
the bad guy. I was like the one villain.
Okay. All right. Cool. Yeah. All right. Good to know. All right. Yeah. No, that makes sense. Okay.
They must have, because he was probably already like at Nickelodeon Studios or whatever. They were recording the SpongeBob movie, and they were like, "Hey, can we have you on from Fairly Odd Parents?" It's not saying that happened. Like that's most likely the case because
it could be.
These came out around the same year.
They did.
And he's a big star.
Yeah.
And like they got him for Fairly Odd Parents, but yeah, he was also in the SpongeBob movie.
I like that. I like that headcanon. It could also just be, hey, could you come back down because we want to record this.
You had me 2 feet, Brown. I thought I was wrong.
Or Butch Hartman called him, "I need money," and it's like, all right, fine. We were going to cast like fucking Tom Kenny in the older Timmy, but like we'll just throw you in. Sure.
Oh my god.
We'll work you in somehow.
Jesus. Yeah. So.
And now he's going to jail possibly.
Hey, that is what it is.
And then I think he shot somebody on set or something.
So okay, we're not getting into that, but technically not his fault. All right.
I know it's not his fault.
Okay. Good,
yeah,
good.
He's still in trouble for that for some reason.
For some reason, I agree. Weird. So again, like these are to me were much. I will say 2 of the 3 in this set were much better than the previous. Well, I'd say 4 because. Let me see. Wait, let me make sure. Technically, we keep moving through, but in this picture here that we have of the Paula Pound Cake, the Space Ghost copy off the and then the Peanuts, obviously. Though out of the three, two of the three are really cool. I love the fucking hilarious idea of a Hanukkah special from fucking Peanuts. This alternate take, the walnuts, you know.
Blah, blah, blah,
And then,
blah.
yeah, the adults.
No, they were saying blah, 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 blah.
Oh, they were saying blah. They weren't saying
Yeah.
blah. Yeah, that was gold. Then they had to escape the cops. Fucking ridiculous.
Like, did they have to get the cops
Fucking
involved?
ridiculous concept.
Like, those two are actually funny. Space Ghost was just like, it's Space Ghost.
Very brief, very very
Well,
brief.
it pretty much was just leading to him meeting his
Future stuff. Yes, but yeah, absolutely. Now, meanwhile, over in the real world, or Dimmsdale, you have Vicky, of course, and she's got this magic remote, has no clue it's a magic remote. She's looking at TV herself, and she goes and she turns on the TV, and
she
it's like,
just assumes
it's
her
like,
remote works for her TV.
yeah, and she assumes her remote works for her TV, and turns on Politically Incorrect, Inaccurate, which is literally based on the Bill Maher series from ABC called Politically Incorrect, which was airing during the time. And it turns into and she presses the button on the remote, and she sort of clashes together Politically Inaccurate and a WWE SmackDown style wrestling match. And so you get this really cool sequence of these fucking brief political jokes. Yeah.
She has the instant power to make crossover episodes.
Yeah, yes. And then she immediately jumps over to, of course, everyone's seen this meme. It's not, the $1 Million Game Show. And she sees that Jerry has won $1 million. She jumps into his place. We don't know where Jerry's gone. I think he just got wiped out. But, she jumps into his place. But she's 16. So that's a problem. So she
This is the first episode I learned about her age.
So, yeah.
I just assumed she was an adult.
I did too.
Wait,
But
why is she? She's 16?
Yes.
Why is she babysitting?
because it's after
16-year-olds
school.
can
It's after
babysit.
school, most likely. Let's move on. We have enough plot holes. So Vicky uses the fast forward button, which turns her into an 18-year-old, which immediately turns her into thick Vicky, apparently. Thicky Vicky. So, there have been so many memes of her with, the nice big old boobs, but in the original, that is not the thing that grows, alright?
She's one of the characters I'm uncomfortable with people, like, make sexualized art of her. Her and Sandy Cheeks.
Dude,
I don't think these characters-
people make pictures of, what's her name? Franny from fucking Foster's, and she's like a teenager, right?
Yeah, I don't like that.
She's like, and like they make, like, and I saw, I was like, Jesus Christ, like they, everyone.
But there was an episode of, like, Foster's Home where, like, everyone was in love with them, and, like, there was, like,
With her?
a point where it's like, like, the show was telling you, hey, this character is attractive.
I mean, some people found her attractive. Not. I mean, that's a fine plot. It's a fine plot. I mean, plus look, they're all imaginary friends that have urges. All right. You think they're not when the show's off on Cartoon Network and Adult Swim turns on? You think that they're not in that house banging each other? You think the rabbit's not screwing what's her name, the old lady? Come on, this is all happening. This is all going down. This is all going down. It's all going down. It's all right. All right. It's all going down. Just understand that these things. Moving on. All right. So she now knows what she wants to do, though. She has the $1 million. She's like, hey, I want to rule the Third Reich. I want to take over this shit. I'm ready to fucking murk all these motherfuckers. I'm ready. So the plot thickens. Timmy escapes future Timmy. He doesn't know it's future Timmy yet, but he escapes future Timmy's teleportation, and he jumps into the Meat Flints. The Flintstones. Again, a lot of Hanna-Barbera. He grew up with it, but again, this is the fun of it. Here's a Nick series, and they're making fun. They're having fun with a series that's on a rival network. Whether or not that's the point. It's like Speed Racer also on Cartoon Network. Like, that's a cool thing. I like the idea of, like, we don't care. We're going to be able to do this. And Nick gave them the approval. And Warner Brothers, or who was the owner at this point of Hanna-Barbera Properties, gave them approval. I don't know if that was something they needed, but I'm sure they did, lawyer-wise, since they were doing similarities, spoofs.
For parodies, they just need the approval from the network they were on. They don't really need approval from, like, the other networks or anything.
Okay.
It's more of, like, so they're, like, they'll have lawyers to look at it, and it's like, is this okay? Now you won't get sued for this. You're fine.
I see. All right.
That's how most parodies work.
So again, like this is the thing that I love is they follow the rules of the universe that they're in. So you have a lot of the Flintstones specialties and shortcomings that you ended up having, obviously, in that series. And that's noticeable, obviously, through all the stuff that we see. We have all the repetitive shit and the running gag. And
these are like, some of these are like commentaries that's already been like stated before by like other cartoons that made fun of this. Like the whole gag of like,
yes,
like,
same background.
Same background,
Yes.
like other cartoons have done that gag before. Before this.
I will say, I hadn't seen it as a kid, so this was like,
Flintstones
for
did
like,
that
again,
themselves.
for Fairly Odd Parents, though, it's like, again, like, at the time, I didn't even know Flintstones, and I didn't know what the joke was, but I feel like that was like, hey, here's for adults, get a quick chuckle, and also Butch Hartman gets to have a quick chuckle at a show that he grew up with. I think whether or not they've done a different joke, like people have done these jokes, I think it's pretty good. I think it was fine. Moving through, you have the Speed Racer one. Speed Racer one takes a little bit of a longer chunk. I think it's the longer chunk alongside Johnny Quest, or whatever that was previously, I think, right? So you get this chase race sequence. You get the obvious Speed Racer English dubs. You get the ooh ah.
Yeah, like that's another form of like jokes like Fairly Odd Parents does. Like another form is like callbacks, where they'll just have a joke that repetition and callbacks, whereas like they'll repeat a joke and they'll just keep calling back to it. This one I thought they did a little bit too much. Like it wasn't, I didn't find it too funny, but it was like okay the first couple times, and like they just keep doing it.
I thought this was gold. I thought it was like, oh, this is a cool take. I don't mind. Yeah, it's like, because it's like, you know, that's the whole thing, is if you're watching that show, it's, you know, it's kind of sterile. Like, it's fun, but it's a bit sterile. It's like, okay.
It's an okay parody. I already, I've seen before this I have seen like a Dexter's episode where they parody Speed Racer, and that episode's fucking gold. They do it way better.
I imagine.
I mean, it is an entire episode compared to a little part. But
I know, but like my thing is why I didn't find it that funny because I'm not comparing it all the way.
Again, I thought it was fun. Even as a kid, thought this was fun.
One thing blows up and everything else blows up.
Everything blows up, and then the announcers blow up. By the way, you don't see the announcers get a parachute when they blow up. They just blow up, and they just like you don't see them get a parachute. Like they just like explode. I think.
I'll just explain why these commentaries are like not as funny because I just seen them in other shows that are just done better beforehand. That's just my perspective. That's it.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah. All right. Moving on. We get to, and again, I think this is like just a weird. I don't know what he's trying to say in this one. It's a weird take on Scooby Doo. But you get Velma. You get future Velma. You get the 2023 Velma in the present. So I mean, look at that. It's ahead of the curve. Like I appreciate Butch Hartman when he knows what he sees. You know, you know. You also get a more diverse crew, so I mean, you know, he's ahead of the curve. He knows what he's doing, and look at that, A+. This is called the Snoop Dogg and the Clue Crew, yeah, like that was certainly something. I mean, it was basically just making fun of slang talk. That was the whole joke. Like it was Scooby Doo, but. I will say this one's to me the worst one because it's like there was nothing done here except.
Okay, I know you've seen the joke before of like dude just going through doors. Like that's already been parodied before.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Johnny Bravo already had like an episode.
Well, of course, but they own Hanna-Barbera, so like I expect Dexter and Johnny Bravo to do that. Like, of course they're gonna do Hanna-Barbera because they got that studio.
No, I know, but they're also making the joke. That's
yes,
the one I was
but like if I expect, who am I going to expect? Johnny Bravo, who's 5 years ahead of the curve of
also other cartoons also made that joke too.
Sure, yes, but I didn't care that it was that they were doing the standard Scooby-Doo thing. I knew that was Scooby-Doo, and I'm cool with that being Scooby-Doo. Like, if I was really upset, I would have skipped over to What's New Scooby-Doo. Very fun version of Scooby-Doo. But
I wasn't upset. I was just like, it was just like wasn't very funny. So I was like, It's a lot of jokes that fall for me.
Again, I don't even know if they were trying to make a joke with that.
I can criticize joke if it's a comedy.
Yeah, I don't think that this was a joke. I think they were literally just doing Scooby-Doo, and the joke was that it's Snoop, that the dog is fucking Snoop. That's the joke.
That's funny, but then there goes to
Scooby-Doo the Scooby-Doo sequences are not the joke. Because that's just Scooby-Doo.
It's just an homage, man.
That's not the joke.
They already have the homage there just by being there and the doors bit is a joke.
Homage.
Yes, that's not.
They don't have to do that.
You're allowed to have more than one homage.
They're allowed to have it, but they don't have to do it.
Right,
because it's just.
But it's so iconic that people will recognize it and be able to.
They already recognize that that's a Scooby-Doo gang. They don't need that.
Mark, again, you're thinking. You're right, Mark. You're expressing like it's a joke. Look, that's not the joke. The joke is, hey, what if it's a terrible joke? But it's what if we took fucking Scooby-Doo and we had him sound like fucking Snoop Dogg? Not like the rest of it is just Scooby-Doo. That's not a joke. That's just a take on the series. That's not the joke. I'm just saying, like, everything else is just Scooby-Doo. I didn't find any. There was no humor.
Dude, I criticize Family Guy for this all the time. It's just like, this is just like, it's just a thing, but Peter's in it.
Yes.
But he doesn't do any commentary. He's just animated inside of it.
And then he does a yeah.
No, not even that sometimes.
It's not even that. He's just standing there. Yeah. I feel you. Yeah. And that's it.
I criticize Family Guy the same way I can criticize this for that.
Fair. I mean, again, but this was not a joke. You're thinking, like, again, the whole thing.
They're trying to be. It's visual. It's a visual gag. It is a joke. Visual gags are jokes.
The visual gag can be a visual gag, but the joke is not that they're running through. Like, that's just Scooby-Doo. Like
that's the gag that they're going for, and they comment on it.
Yes, Mark. So when McDonald's has the WickDonald's, is that a joke or is that them just acknowledging an anime trope?
That's something they're trying to like take back. That's like a marketing thing.
But it's just a trope. It's just a generic name trope, like an anime that they switch things around. That's it, right?
It's a brilliant like kind of marketing thing because it's like not
the purpose of the marketing.
But that's why it's there.
The logo switch. The switch up is just the take.
This is a bad example, but like the reason it's there is because like it's genius because like when you see other because so many animes do the McDonald's thing,
that's
and now when you do it, and now when they do it, it's like now they're gonna think about us. It goes back to us now.
Yes, but was there any like humor in the fact that like anime have parodied that and anime have done that, and sometimes you got a chuckle out of it in the past? When I saw McDonald's or a flipped over like Wendy's or some off-brand thing that some anime did, and it's like they're clearly poking fun at it. It's like
no, because the point of the scene is like they're having McDonald's, but it's not like a visual gag though. It's just like they're having McDonald's, but like we legally can't have McDonald's there.
Right. I'm just gonna move past. So
they're already doing the Scooby-Doo joke. I mean, they just didn't need the doors joke because it was a visual gag, but a visual gag doesn't work because
it's Scooby-Doo. That's all.
I know, but the McDonald's thing was like a bad example.
I acknowledge that. That's why I said I was moving on because I was taking the L, and then you said the Scooby-Doo. I'm moving on. All right. So in the process, Timmy's parents, right? They're actually investigating. So you get the sense, they're actually curious. So they're investigating the situation. They go over to AJ's house and they're like, hey man, have you seen Timmy? Like, because he also said that fucking Vicky's crazy, man. And like, and we see that, Chester and AJ are actually being just threatened by Vicky. Like, the only thing that Chester has, you guys talked about the tech already, but Chester has a ankle bracelet. That's all he has. He doesn't have anything else. Like I don't think his house is booby trapped the way that AJ's is, and like we said already, theoretically, older, thicky Vicky, who's controlling the world, went back in time with her $1 million. She bought the fucking shit, and then she wanted to torture the people that she watches. All right, boom, easy. So that situation, they're freaked out. You learn how crazy that shit is. All right, moving on. Now, I respect that Chester actually stood up for what was right. Good for him. Good for him.
And paid for it.
Okay, that was just flipped. Wonderful. Pointless. All right, moving on. So, now we go back over to what's happening in cable land, on TV land, and we've got Blackbird and Sparrow. Batman and Robin. Mark, you have any takes on this? You have any plot holes you want to bring up?
Timmy's in the world of Batman, but like this is more of like a plot setting. It's like they're not really doing a comedy, like gag. They're not really doing gags here except for the very end. Yeah, it's just a setting, and it's like it's a nice setting.
Absolutely.
So it's like there's no real jokes or gags here.
So again, like this whole point is, you get this Batman sequence, but you get to see that older Timmy gets to meet younger Timmy and interact with them with themselves finally, and future Timmy again explains the future under Vicky's rule. Like I said earlier, he explains, look, I snuck in, I earned her trust, I fucked her, alright? I did it, it was good, she allowed me to go back in time, and now...
And fuck some more, and then I went back in time again to do it again, it was... Damn! She's thick!
Now again, I think there's some cool stuff in that future sequence. You get the ninja fighting scene. I thought that was just simple, cool. It's just something to keep the plot moving. And again, kids are watching. Gotta have fun with it. Again, like older Timmy's trying to explain to younger Timmy, hey, look, right? Like, look, you gotta do this. You gotta, come on, we can save the world here. And very much like, what the fuck? Who was with fucking, Ahsoka in the Ahsoka series?
What?
Who's the girl? Sabine. Just like Sabine in Ahsoka, younger Timmy's like, nah, I don't want to save the world. I'm gonna do me. I'm young. I'm gonna do me. I'm gonna do what I want to do.
That also kind of because there are many times.
No, it's mostly because like he also decided he's just going to live in TV world, so the real world
exactly.
To him.
There are a lot of times in the past when he just stepped up to the ball when it came to saving the world.
No, I know there is, but I'm saying this time, he actually has more core values than again connection. No, that was unnecessary.
That's connection. I'm not watching Ahsoka.
You don't watch Ahsoka. It's not worth it. So at this point, Vicky unfortunately gets the upper hand because she gets there and drops the fucking birdcage and goes to the Dictator channel. Or the Dictator Week on History Channel or whatever documentary channel.
Well, that's where she's trying to get to.
What?
That's where she's trying to get to. I don't think she doesn't actually get there.
She doesn't get there, but she leaves and is planning to go there. So now the whole thing is we have to stop Vicky, and now we're following Vicky as she makes her way there. Timmy's parents, meanwhile, are asking about her daughter, Timmy's parents are asking Vicky's parents about their daughter, and clearly it's crazy that they're also tortured and threatened by her. It's fucking insane. So the parents shove them out, and Tootie hears of Timmy missing.
Wait, who?
Was it Tootie? I don't fucking remember her name. It's Tootie, right?
It's Tootie.
Thank God. I was like, when you said who was that, I was very wrong. I was like, did I get the name?
It was not Tootie's sister. It was definitely Deep Toot.
Oh, fuck you. God damn it.
Yeah, we never found out who Deep Toot is.
We never
found out who he was.
But all we know is it's not Vicky's sister.
Definitely not Vicky's sister.
Not Vicky's sister. That's a good point. God damn it. Yeah, you got me.
Curse you, Deep Toot!
Yeah, so, again, now the parents have a sort of thread to figure out what's going on with Timmy. Meanwhile, Vicky is in Clint's Hints, which is so close to Clit. That is weird, man. But Clit's Hits, I'm going to keep calling that. Blue's Clues. Again, I love this wacky take. This is like a skit that could go on for 5 fucking minutes. I love so much about this. The comedic dialogue is hilarious here, but also like the facial reactions are very South Park because you have this cardboard cutout style.
Yeah,
so you have this expressiveness of almost like this mature cartoon, very much like an Aqua Teen Hunger Force almost, where it's like, man, the humor here is like so much like there's so much great humor here just through like the expressions on the faces of the characters, and also just again. You brought it up. I didn't realize that, again, that was Max's voice actor from Goofy Movie.
Yeah, Jason
because
Martin.
This guy, I was like, I know that fucking voice. What the fuck are you doing, buddy? And, like, again, perfect, perfect, Yeah. I think this was also around the same time as Blue's Clues was having that, obvious hosting controversy because all the known kids were happy with the fact that Steve left and you had the new guy and, it is what it is. But, yeah, what did you guys think of Blue's Clues? I guess that's what his name. No one cares about the new guy. What did you guys think?
Oh, this is funny. Mostly because of Jason Martin's acting.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like, don't mind the
shadow.
5 o'clock shadow on the same.
I'm a kid like the rest of you.
Oh my god. This is so gold.
I'm gonna go find some hints.
Yes.
Some glitz hints.
Some glitz hints.
His whole just
demeanor.
It's just so great at this moment.
Yes.
It just makes it so much more fun than it should have been.
Yes.
That part is just great.
This is fantastic. Again, I wish they did an all like. This would be a perfect like Nick at Night bumper material type shit where you just like did that for a few times just to make fun. Great take on Blue's Clues. Yeah. Moving on. This is what I think Tom and Jerry. This one was done very well.
Yeah.
And then Mark, I know the one that you don't like, but I know the one that was really well done. I think clearly like there was not a better alternate place for the Vicky Timmy dynamic than Tom and Jerry.
This is where they spend like most of their time animating on.
Clearly,
sure.
Clearly, because all the mannerisms are there. All the rules of their universe up there.
Yet they still have the timing of Fairly Odd Parents.
Yes, the timing's there. But the forgetfulness, like the carelessness of Jerry, also like of Tom, like the carelessness of Jerry, where it's like you see in the corner there, like that's totally like how Jerry kind of reacts, even if it's clearly a cat under a fucking lamppost. I love so much about this Tom and Jerry brief bit because I think it interprets it very well.
This also reminds me, there's another episode of Fairly Odd Parents. It's like in the later seasons where Timmy has his grandfather over, and they go inside of a cartoon, and the whole episode is like, the whole episode is a parody of a black and white cartoon. That's a very good episode.
That's cool.
But it's kind of similar to Channel Chasers in a way, but it's just like one thing.
Right.
But it's a fun episode.
That's cool.
And they animate the classic cartoonery very well.
Nice.
I think one of my favorite jokes is like Vicky is trying to like hurt them and they're trying to hurt Vicky at the end, and they're like, no, you can't hurt Vicky. Why? Because you can't hurt girls in old cartoons. And like, then I wish Vicky was a boy.
Wait, who the fuck said you can't hurt girls in old cartoons?
That's apparently
isn't what's her name from Popeye like dragged around everywhere?
Oh yeah. Oh, she gets abused.
That's why I'm like, what the fuck are they talking about? Old cartoons? They didn't do that shit.
That's their comment. Like sometimes their commentary is not always correct.
I also do love the fact that in Tom and Jerry, like Cosmo and Wanda always pop up during like the vibe.
Yeah,
I can't believe cartoons do this.
Okay, that's actually funny. That's commentary. That's funny commentary right there.
Yes, this was I think again this was like one of the MVPs of this multiverse of madness through cable. The non-multiverse of the non-MVP that Mark clearly had a problem with because he brought it up earlier. It's pointless. I can't believe they did this. They just wanted to.
I'm not mad about it. I'm just like, because like this special is pretty much like Family Guy compilation. It's Family Guy Cutaway, like the Family Guy Cutaway episode where it's just kind of hit and miss. And I'll give it. There's more hit than miss, but it's just one of the misses.
Yeah.
And it's like you can this one also just doesn't have anything plot relevant, so you can. It's like it's not funny. It's not really animated that well. You can just one of the ones you can just take out.
I mean, you could take out a ton of them, but like I think it's just they wanted to again draw them in this style. Like that's.
I know they didn't do much. They could have actually done a joke with it. There was not real jokes here either. It's just more like they just walk up to a fake Daffy Duck. I like the design of the fake Daffy.
Yeah.
But they just walk up to the fake Daffy Duck. Which way did Vicky went? She went that way. Okay.
Now.
End of skit.
Yeah. Now moving on from there, you get this Rudolph adaptation that's clearly using some CGI. That's I think they clearly worked off the CGI that they had from the first Power Hour. Clearly. But then you kind of texture it in a style that's in that stop motion-esque form that you get from Rudolph, the CBS special, or what was on CBS.
And a video Butch Hartman did on this, they said they wanted to use actual stop motion puppetry, but that's not in their fucking budget. That wasn't in their budget, so they just use CG to emulate it as much as they can.
And if you think about 2004 and the amount of things that they were doing in this special, I don't think it's bad. I think does it look bad now? Of course it looks bad now, but for the time, did it look terrible? No, I mean it's fine.
Oh no! The thing is, they work it well because it looks bad, it looks bad on purpose.
Oh, I thought they were trying to do a good recreation of it. I don't know if it was. I didn't realize it was on purpose that they was like trying to look bad. I thought they just couldn't reach that level.
They were trying to look limited and like very blocky, but like that's what you can. It's like all you can really do when you're trying to mimic stop motion with fake CG with like bad CG.
Right. Again, for good CG that.
Because they can emulate, they can animate cheap CG better than this, but they have to emulate the the old stop motion from back in the day.
Yeah, for a good CG and a Christmas special, check out all of the other reindeer. Very still looks good.
Or check out the original Rudolph. That's good shit.
It is, but it's not CG, so I appreciate.
You don't need a CG.
Yeah. You just need Christmas, guys. Moving on. Now, Timmy's parents meet up with Deep Toot.
Who the hell?
Which sounds like an OnlyFans name. I'll tell you what. And she tells Timmy's
gonna
parents.
Be a fucking sex shop match.
It does. Do you not agree that they're?
No, I knew he was gonna be a fucking sex. You're fucking dirty as fuck.
I'm just explaining.
You're dirty fucking man.
Someone would name themselves Deep Toot.
Pretty sure it's meant to fart.
Some lady just bending over, Deep Toot. I'm not or she likes it deep. I'm just saying,
yeah, I knew you were gonna go.
You kept pushing the fucking question of if it made sense, and I'm explaining you why.
I wasn't questioning. I'm just saying. No, my comment was I knew you were gonna fucking go there.
All right.
I didn't question anything.
I see. My bad. All right.
And you went there even further to prove my point better.
Yeah, because it's a possibility. Anyway, so Deep Toot tells Timmy's parents of Vicky's doings. We see that she has images. She has footage of what Vicky's doing.
Which means she was there earlier.
If she has those pictures, then she's the one that was directing the episode in the beginning. Like, what the fuck?
Oh no! This also means if she has pictures,
she was taking pictures of Timmy's house.
Yeah, she's just like.
Well, she is obsessive.
She's an obsessive stalker. So she has more pictures than just that.
Yes.
Than just evidence.
I always do love the design of Tootie with the hair. Again, this is just a cool design choice. This is the thing about the Butch Hartman style is how they do certain hair designs. I do like that.
Yeah.
In their universe, very cool idea there.
Because her pigtails are just floating. Timmy's hat is always floating, and especially that little ball.
Yeah. So yeah, cool design. So now they know, and so back in TV land again. Mark, what do you think of The Simpsons? I want you to lead in on this.
This is a dumb commentary, because the joke is in Simpsons the adults are stupid, but not only it's a dumb commentary because this adults in Timmy's world are stupid, but not only that, it's just that's a thing in sitcoms in general, but that's kind of the the gag here.
Oh yeah. No, I mean, again, I think by 2004 Simpsons standards, I don't know, you could probably it was slipping a little. I'm sure.
No,
I mean, they're all dickheads.
I'm not saying they're stupid at all. I haven't caught up with much Simpsons. I don't think I've watched Simpsons since. Mark, we watched Simpsons probably last year or whatever, when we watched whatever Simpsons.
I still watch Simpsons. I know. I've seen some 2004 Simpsons recently.
It's good.
More of the same. It's fine.
It's fine. Yeah.
It's hit and miss. That's what long running shows are. It's just hit and miss. But sometimes there's a down period. Sometimes there's a high period. Or sometimes it's just very hit and miss. It's just another hit and miss period.
You didn't think that at least the intro attempt was hey, we want to acknowledge The Simpsons. You think the idea, once they went into digging at The Simpsons, it was a bad commentary? Is that when it's
I think the designing is fun. They're trying to do their best to mix Fairly Odd Parents style with The Simpsons style, and I think visually it's interesting to look at.
Right.
In terms of a joke, it's not very funny this one is just it has a commentary, but the commentary is just wrong.
Yeah.
It's just in Simpsons the adults are stupid. No, in sitcom that's just a rule in sitcoms in general where the adults are stupid, but also it's weird that he would make that commentary too, because the adults in his world are more stupid than on The Simpsons.
Man, was this when did? Well, no, the South Park dig wasn't until like the late 2000s. But I was about to say Viacom creators were really digging it. Fucking The Simpsons, Simpsons did it. Oh wait, well, South Park didn't dig at Simpsons.
They dig at Family Guy.
They just All right.
They dig at Simpsons sometimes too, but like mostly they not for a whole episode. There was a whole episode they dig at that whole episode were just digging at Family Guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, this just like a. It's not that the commentary was unfunny. It's just like commentary was just wrong. Yeah.
All right. You had what seems like early Sesame Street attempt here, because this feels like they did, or like not because their puppets look cheap, but because they do look cheap. But like you don't really see even in 2004 you didn't really see the puppets up against a brick wall. That's a very old, that's early Sesame Street kind of stuff.
Yeah, but it's just a cheap set. But also keep in mind, Butch Hartman is just or the staff. I keep saying Butch Hartman, but it's probably mostly staff. They're just referencing stuff from what they grew up with, and they probably were seeing some of these earlier Sesame Streets or on a brick wall, or some of the older Jim Henson commercials too, or early Jim Henson stuff in general. This is a funny cutaway gag mostly because of the mixed media, and puppets are funny, but also most importantly, bad or ugly puppets are funny. So these are some stupid looking puppets, and that's the joke, and it's an easily funny joke, especially when they just throw them into the TV.
I know it's just someone thing. I did appreciate Vicky's especially.
Oh yeah, Vicky is rushing through the
and she go and the way she ran. It was funny movement. It got a chuckle out of me. That was more than any of that did, because Vicky already did it, and they did it 4 more times.
Yeah.
3 more times.
3 more times.
No, they all flew through.
Yeah.
So they did it 4 more times.
Yeah. Alright, so after all this, we finally get to channel 297. They've finally gotten ahead of Vicky, apparently, or around Vicky's, wherever Vicky was. Somehow Vicky's below them. I don't know how
she fell.
No, she wasn't. No, you're right, because she was ahead of them because she had the ship or whatever. So she had the Karate Cow's ship because she's in an Otter vehicle. So we get we are on the credits of adolescent genetically altered Karate Cows, leading into MAHO-MUSHI, and there's some brief funny stuff here and there where it's Cosmo says one's man, the credits moving really fast, and Cosmo's yeah, they're animation credits, they move really fast because no one cares about them, and here we are in 2024 and nothing has changed.
Oh yeah. The credits themselves were actually the names of
Butch Hartman and all the, and just it seemed like it was just the key cat. They didn't have a lot of people on the cast, but it's a great concept. I love this concept of being on the credits themselves. It looks cool as well. It's a cool looking.
But they could have done this earlier and got ahead of her.
Done what earlier?
Jumped on the credits, right? Because they're just slinging them to the next thing instead of them having to find a TV.
Hmm?
What do you mean?
How
would they get to the credits if they don't see, if they're not able? Because they're changing the channel, right? They're going through the. You mean they just go to 297?
I'm saying they could. The credits leading them into the next show, right? Couldn't they have done it earlier?
I think it's a visual thing. Because they apparently time still exists in real speed. So they're working at a point where the show no longer is on, and I think that's the. Even if they were to jump in early, they would be in. They could have jumped to 298. I think the whole thing is they were chasing Vicky instead of just trying to get ahead of Vicky so that they wouldn't miss where she is. Because again, they didn't know maybe she stopped here. Again, the Simpsons gag was not gag, but the Simpsons thing was this is a long show. Maybe she's in. Or then again, if you're gonna say that, you can't make joke. You can't say. I guess that breaks. It breaks the point that they made where it's well, The Simpsons is a long-running show. Maybe she's in any episode. It's but if they're running in real time, then they wouldn't be able to change episodes. So I guess that wouldn't count. But either way, they're on the credits. I love this idea. They're fighting. There's a combat on the credits. Future Timmy gets shot, and this really pisses off young Timmy, and also, by the way, I forgot to mention when they're in the Rudolph Special, older Timmy mentions that he watched this with his parents, and it makes Timmy kind of at least realize a bit, like, oh, like the things that you remember the valuable moments that are good, less the bad, which still doesn't downplay the bad moments, though. I don't know what the show is trying to inspire here. Partially, I think they want to inspire the fact, like the idea that, like, oh, they're gonna remember the positive moments more than the negative moments. But again, like, if that's the point, I think, like, Timmy's been through quite a bunch of shit. Even though his parents are nice at times, like, it is still like some shitty shit going on, like, in his life, like, that he also will remember. Like, you know, maybe that's why it doesn't turn out to be buff Timmy Turner, and he turns into that hideous creature that we see in the new fucking Family Guy spinoff. You know, but, you know, apparently, you know, wrong on that.
Conversation we had off screen.
All right. So, Mark's like, I'm not getting into this shit. Timmy's meanwhile, obviously, Timmy's parents, they were already in the parking lot of Dimmsdale Cable, and now they're in the actual headquarters of Dimmsdale Cable. I can't tell if this was a dig at Ted Turner, because Ted Turner is a southern guy with a southern drawl, with a southern accent, that is the cable president of a cable division that people thought, like, rambled on, and that's one of the things that Timmy's mom says specifically. I can't tell if it's just that they're doing a Doug Dimmadome thing, like a joke at Doug Dimmadome, or if because it would fit perfectly if they're making a joke about
Could be.
Ted Turner.
Man, I mentioned it could be like inspired by Ted Turner.
Yeah.
He is a similar guy that owns a lot of stuff. The best parody of him is, like, you've seen The Critic. He pretty much have a character that just is Ted Turner in that. It's Duke, and, like, Duke is, like, probably the funniest character on that show. It's hilarious.
It's gold, man. That's much better than apparently.
But, like,
this is
Doug Dimmadome is a great character, though.
Yes.
Like, it does make sense if he's probably a parody of Ted Turner.
It's also cool that when Doug is considering, like, oh, should I help him or not? Which, by the way, becomes a distraction that the parents use to get into the studio. But while he's considering helping or not, he's actually bringing up situations that Timmy helped him in, like, in previous episodes. That's kind of just a cool idea.
Situations he didn't help him in.
And didn't help him in, yeah. So it's like, hey, we're acknowledging, like, this is not just a standoff by itself thing that doesn't exist in the rest of the lore. And obviously, there's new lore being built in this episode itself. But I do always love when you do reference things from the past that actually are crucial to sort of a character moment. All right.
Helps world, but this is the most, like, callback you get in the episode, too.
It seems like it, yeah. Actually, yeah.
No, this is the most calling back, and it's all Doug Dimmadone's, like,
saying all this stuff. That's
recollecting everything.
Yeah. So here we are again, back 297, and we are in the land of MAHO-MUSHI, and we get some great stuff. You get this is DBZ mixed with Yu-Gi-Oh, mixed with
R.I.P. Akira Toriyama.
Yes, indeed. It's perfect that we get this finale at this point in time. Watching this now on CartoonChat at this point in time. But, yeah, you get, like, some great stuff. I thought, presumed Gundam fight, but as you guys brought up, not operated by someone inside, so it's more like a robot rock and sock kind of deal. But, I love everything about this idea. It was very fun, very cool. Again, like, there's so many cool moments in the fight sequence. When they draw their, like, lightsabers, you get... What the fuck? You get a shout out to an anime legend. They each shout out an anime legend, basically. Like, when Timmy shouts out Miyazaki and she shouts out Kurosawa, and that was fucking awesome. Very cool moment there. They utilize the fallen robots to sort of expand their combat. That just makes it more bombastic. And again, like, this is where Timmy usually thinks of a way to solve the problem. Usually by the end of every episode, he kind of, but within, like, the last, like, 5, in a regular runtime, last 5 minutes. In this runtime, we still have about 10 to 12 minutes. He figures out, oh snap, I have to forget the magic. I have to forget the Fairly Odd Parents, so that, the magic stops working and I can defeat Vicky. So he grows into turning 18, which is, just a funny little, like, growth there. And the magic does stop working. Unfortunately, at the same time, the magic taxi arrives, so now you're on a ticking clock time kind of deal. And, this is kind of when things get serious. What's up?
The magic taxi arrives inside of a TV room. when they were traveling through all that, and it just suddenly poof to this.
Oh yeah, it's like Death Man. He just appears. It's the
That's still magic. They have to, like, no matter what, they have to just appear, like whenever like the fairies need to go home. It's like yeah.
Because if not, imagine like they could have been in there until he was like 34, and like it's like, well, they're in the TV world. I can't use my taxi to get up there, and it's like he's just waiting outside the TV.
No, but like it's still magic. So they just like
funny.
They just use the same powers like they used to get there. So
yeah,
it still follows the rules.
No, not really, because they had to travel through channels in order to get to where they was. Even with Cosmo and Wanda, who could have poofed them to that channel, specific channel.
Well, again, we brought it up before. They were following Vicky to see if they could stop her before getting to 298.
Yes.
Not that they were trying to jump ahead, because you don't know when they were going to interact or miss Vicky potentially if they jump ahead. So they were trying to keep her in eyesight. And I mean, that's theoretically what they were trying to do, but it seemed like every time.
When you say it, I'll take that out.
Yeah, again, we're doing a lot of headcanon here because that's the only way that this stacks, because now we've seen, it's kind of like a boat, it's like the Titanic, like, you think it's unsinkable, this cool special, you think it's unsinkable, and then you just start, you see the holes get poked in the underbelly, and it starts sinking, and it's like, oh, damn. Still fun, but, you kind of start to notice, oh, interesting, okay. But, okay, the magic taxi arrives, Timmy, gets immatured by Cosmo, right? By Wanda, which allows him to then control both remotes, and then he throws Vicky out of TV land and back into the real world. Timmy stops Cosmo and Wanda from being taken, and then they go back.
We already went through like how he was aging and stuff.
I said that. Yeah, I said. Yeah.
I know, but like it
was a speed run, but he did say it.
I know that was like a cool moment though, because it was like
it was, but he didn't stop. Were you not listening, motherfucker? Were you just like, I'm sitting here waiting, and then eventually.
I did zone on a little bit. I won't lie.
It basically, well, if you want to ask him to, it basically shows how many years he will, in fact, have.
Yes.
And it
gives you a date.
And it basically, he will do it until
the
he's
end of the world,
18.
which is pretty sad.
Well, that's why. Yeah.
Tells you his world is shit until he's 18, basically, which sucks.
16.
Holy shit.
16.
Wait, what? But 18 is when he loses the
17.
17?
17 is his last year, because when he turned 18. But now that you bring that up,
it's shitty.
That means his life is shitty life until he was
18. Until he was technically
18 and moved out.
And technically, you don't even know if he doesn't have a shitty life. He just loses his parents because he's older.
Yeah, but
so you don't know.
But it's saying, but you have fairies because you're miserable.
Yes.
So, I mean, at least until that's so.
Until he's 17, and so maybe he had a sweet 17, and then his life sucked, and that's why he's a background actor on a fucking on a Crimson Chin movie when he's 35.
Stop that. Stop it.
All right. Hey. So. All right. So, did you wanted to say something about the aging?
He loses them at 17?
Yeah.
Because by 18,
he loses them at 18, but he has them until he's 17. Because when he turned 18 is when
I don't remember.
No, because he can only have his fairies for like 7 years.
Where's that rule?
What are you talking about?
Where's that rule?
Like he stops having his fairies 7 years.
Well, he's 10.
He's 10.
Yeah.
So
not at 18.
Yeah,
that's what Martin's saying.
When he fast forward to 18,
he was at 17.
I'm 18 now. Yeah. I don't remember. Okay. So why am I running?
I'm doing my math wrong. Go ahead.
Somewhere between 17 and 18, he loses them because when he fast forwards after 17, he's already forgotten, and he's also apparently dumb as shit. But he's also forgotten
I'm not saying he's exactly 18. I'm just saying between that time and that time he's
lost. Yes.
So
statistically speaking, on the technical note of the quadratic equation on the timeline, theoretically, yeah.
In all honesty,
to be honest, so they go back to their world. And, again, what's cool, or they don't, before he does, of course, you have the parents, and, again, I love this moment for Timmy. Again, this is just a beautiful moment for Timmy himself. I think it's a cool thing for him to have. He deserves this, especially for parents that are always working and don't seem to just say that out loud to him, and maybe he just feels insignificant.
Also, his pants are still full of shit, by the way, because when he turns into a baby, he shits his pants, and then when he turns back into a kid, he's like, why's my pants stink?
Why is his
What,
parents shit
yeah.
for that?
Hmm?
Why are his parents shit for that?
Oh no! I just wanted to bring that up earlier because we were going past it. Because like he just has he shit his pants.
Oh, he shit his pants.
Oh,
Yes.
okay, gotcha.
Yeah, he shit in his pants. Yeah, they go back to the real world after that, and the thing is, it's like Timmy seems to be comfortable with growing up. It feels like he's actually learned the value that good parents have brought to him, or at least the parents that can care about him in some way, shape, as we've seen in this movie at least. Show for him.
Like they're zapping her.
And it does. And yeah, like, and it feels like, look, like Vicky finally got what she deserves, you know? Like, Timmy's parents are like, hey man, fuck you, we know what happened. You're fired. And like, it feels like, for at least Timmy's life.
I mean, she should actually be in jail.
She should be in jail, I agree. Should she be in jail?
Vicky is the one Vicky is the one that keyed Vicky is here on my car? But I punished Timmy for that.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Fuck. But, no, Timmy instead, and again, this is the only point where I actually had a problem with, like, plot-wise, because, again, like, it feels like the writers wrote a perfect way to end the series, but they retconned it to just keep the show going. Like,
it was never,
I know this was never meant to be the end of the show, but I'm saying, like, because in this world idea, and he says it outright, Timmy says it outright, I would lose you guys if I didn't get tortured and physically felt with pain and hated my life and wanted to kill myself, then I wouldn't have you guys, and I miss you guys so much that I'm gonna bear with that torture until I'm 17 and a half years old. So I'm gonna keep Vicky and my miserable fucking life. And I will be honest with
Vicky
you.
isn't the only reason his life is miserable.
I know.
So they can get
but that's the critical. Apparently, Vicky is the critical piece. At least the story is trying to give that impression that she's the critical piece. And who knows? Without Vicky, maybe there's more consideration from the parents, and he gets better at school because of that.
And he wouldn't have to deal with Crocker anymore.
And he wouldn't have to deal with Crocker anymore. So because we see that when the thing gets. So like it's like, man, again, like it feels like this is literally like, boom, you wrote the out. They wrote the out, but they weren't done. But I will say, within like 2 years of this series, of this special airing, the show is pretty much in a starts to nosedive. So like clearly after, like it's like, all right, does it start to fall off after that? And is the show technically kind of at its end in terms of its strength, like its best of what it could offer, kind of. But you know, kind of sucks. But it is what it is. So Timmy just wishes again. He wishes that, you know, the events of the film, basically, after the remote being wished for, were forgotten. So everything up to the remote being wished for is forgotten, basically. So, you know, you get to the future, and, you know, we see, like, he digs his time capsule up. Yeah, Timmy doesn't want to make mistakes with his parents, but he ends up doing so. But yeah, it kind of sucks that, again, like, look, like, you acknowledge, number one, that he would forget about them. And I think maybe visually that's just because he forgot about them, and that's why. And he doesn't dream about them like Crocker does. But we see, but again, like, I wish, part of it is, like, I do like the idea of, again, like, okay, he's got kids, all that stuff. It seems like, I just realized, it must have been Tootie that he fucked, because the glasses kind of give it away.
It's obviously Tootie.
So obviously Tootie.
Yeah, it's obviously Tootie.
I'm going to be honest, the whole time, like, as a kid, through now, I didn't fucking catch the glasses this whole time. Yeah. So I was like...
I got that as a kid.
I caught that as a kid as well, man.
Yeah.
Like, the hair
You're
color,
pretty fucking
glasses,
stupid, dude.
Like, that's definitely Tootie.
Alright, my bad.
I ain't trying to come at you like that, but I was just like...
I am. You're pretty fucking stupid, dude.
No, I'm not coming at you like that. No,
I am. You're pretty fucking stupid, dude.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, you're right. No, I am stupid for, you know, wishing that, you know, Timmy turned.
Yeah, I agree. You're pretty fucking stupid, dude.
Oh my God, move the fuck.
Stop it.
Alright, so... Again, it does suck, though, that it seems like their lives are so apparently miserable. That's what's trash about this concept.
That's
is their lives are so fucking miserable that they get crazy parents.
because it's basically just saying he just did the same damn thing that his parents did.
Yes, and like, there's nothing positive here. Like, did Tootie die or something? Maybe like, is that the thing?
No, she's not
No,
there.
she's just not here.
I'm pretty sure she's at work or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying, what's so miserable that Timmy fucking did? Maybe like,
Because she gave him a bad babysitter.
The robot.
that's it.
Yes,
Because for Timmy,
that's it.
it stacks.
Probably other things, but
It's
like
the school, it's babysitting, it's bullying,
It's supposed to
it's
be, I'm pretty
grades.
sure it's just they didn't show any of that because they only had 2 minutes left in.
Well, no, I know, but
I'm pretty sure they like
the point is supposed to be like the cycle continues, and even after adulthood, it's like Cosmo and Wanda are still with Timmy in a way.
yeah, which again,
It's supposed to be like a what was the word, like melancholy or something like that.
Yeah.
It's supposed like a very like nice sort of like ending.
it is. It
Like
is.
even they're still together in a way, but they're helping his children.
Yes. Yeah, it's a cool like wink and nod basically kind of thing. Yeah, that's Channel Chasers, ladies and gentlemen. That's the special there.
There's also a separate timeline where there's a different feature where Cosmo and Wanda are helping like a little girl
and then Timmy's apparently
an actor. He's an actor.
He's a background
He's an
actor
actor.
that's getting paid minimum by SAG-AFTRA. And
You don't know how much he's getting fucking paid. He's probably getting paid a lot.
Driver, of course, getting
Fuck
paid
you.
fucking minimum. That shit's garbage.
multiverse theory.
All right, so last but not least, we've got to talk about this sort of unused Channel Chasers song, If I Lived in TV. Look, this is basically just an alternate take on... It's not an alternate take, but it's using the same sort of journey, song-wise or musically, as I'll Be There For You. I think that's the Friends theme or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's like, the melody is very familiar. It's more references to other popular TV things.
Very violent at the beginning to a bunch of adults being a child.
Oh, Jesus.
I like, even though I like the song visually, even though the singing is a bit off.
Yeah.
But like I do like the song. They gotta also get like more parodies out of the way, and it's like they just go right by. Cause like I like that idea, like just going through parodies in more of a montage instead of just like because like you said they want to do homages. I think that's the way to do it, just like a montage. In fact, like probably a montage could have worked in this.
So you wanted a standard TV episode of Channel Chasers instead of a 90-minute, which technically could this have been done in 90? Yes, this could have been a standard episode. Yes, I do agree.
No, I'm saying like
Because
in terms of the TV part,
like a montage,
like you said like they want to get like homages in. I think like it would have been
no,
better.
I didn't say homages.
I didn't say they wanted to get them in. I'm just saying it's not a crime to have more than one at a time.
Yeah, so like they could have just done it with a montage with like
Beyond the channel chasing, what would you have rather them done? Because that's basically the concept of the episode. That them chasing it through these
montages.
Yeah,
that could be a 20.
I think they could have done it better.
Like give me an example of what you would want to
have actual jokes and commentaries for some of the stuff they didn't have jokes and commentaries for.
But then you'd be building into like you'd have
nothing.
I'm not saying the special's bad. I'm not saying like for some of the cutaway gags are just like some of the cutaway gags are just lame. Or not, I'm calling them cutaway gags. But like some of the stuff they do is like.
Would you rather go deeper into the?
Because this concept is good.
Yeah.
But like I like this. I told you I like the whole mystery box. I'm not criticizing the entire special. I'm just I think like some of these some of the parodies or commentaries just like kind of fall flat because they're like
very minimal.
They're very minimal on commentary, or they're not very funny, or like they're just kind of like doing jokes that other like shows done but better.
Fair. Understandable.
Because like I'm like I think like well, I guess it's more of like me watching this recently, but like and when I watched it as a kid I wasn't really thinking too much about it, but like I mean I've seen stuff that came out before this, like Animaniacs, Tiny Toons and stuff. Even Simpsons, they do parodies all the time, and I love parodies. I'm like especially when they have like funny commentaries. I'm like, yeah, it is weird that this show does this. It's like this is like meant to be like an in terms of the besides the heavy plot moments, because those are really good. I have no issue with those. In terms of like the TV gags, it's like some of them just fall flat.
I mean, it seems.
And it's like they're not interesting in the terms of like they're just like being homages, because like other cartoons have done some of these like very basic homages before, because a lot of these aren't deep cuts, and like they're on the surface they're just fine. They're just there. They're not offensive to me or anything. I just think like they could have done some of these a lot better. No, it doesn't ruin the episode for me. I like the episode. I like the heavy plots. I like the lore this adds, and it does add like a great ending to like Timmy's future and where that leads.
That's fair.
In terms of
it does also though, as we've talked about it since we were wrapping this, it does open up. It does have a lot of sort of plot holes that do destroy the momentum or the purpose of this entire series.
Once you start thinking about it,
if you consider more than, I mean, these weren't even simple thoughts. I mean, that was not really a complex thought either. That was like was brought up in the beginning. Like these weren't difficult to write around, essentially. Like so, when I think about like now again, I think the moments, the TV travel, I think is actually very well done for the fact that again, these are puddle level depth moments. I think they told the writing team, or because it's written by Butch Hartman and the other guy. I think they knew, okay, if we each only gave this 2 minutes or less, what would we want to do? What type of comic strip level thing would we want to do? And it's not going to be a deep level thing. It's not going to be anything like super significant. What would we want to do with it? And I think that's the way they took it, and that's why the approach was brief. And if it wasn't brief, it was just kind of, you had a little things here and there, and you moved on. But the story, unfortunately, like this, I love this story. I think it's fun, but yes. Now after as I said after Atlantis, it's like, you see it now, and it's like, okay, like it's not as bulletproof necessarily as you might have thought. Obviously, as a kid, you're going to think otherwise, or even as a teenager, you're going to think otherwise. It's the first time I've watched this probably in like 5 or 6 years. So good to revisit because, again, like there are definite holes now that I see, and it doesn't break the show. It doesn't break this special for me, but it's like, wow, okay, they did overlook things that if you just were to just sort of like, tweak here and there, would have actually made more sense for the universe in the end. So
yeah, I think this is a fine special. It's not one of my favorites. I like Ava Catastrophe a lot more than this. I think that's a great special.
Gotcha. Yeah, that was another good one. Again, like back then, it seemed like those two were great specials.
That's the one with the muffin.
Yeah, that's the one I like.
Oh yeah, that's great. That one's great.
Yeah.
So it's like it's also like this one has like a heartwarming moment, like especially at the end. But like Ava Catastrophe is way more heartwarming especially with that ending where Timmy's parents have to fight Crocker.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Jesus.
No, they don't have to fight Crocker. They just whip his ass afterwards.
Well, they still beat him up.
Yeah, still fighting. Yeah. Fucking cry. You were just trying to make fun of your friend. Well, theoretically, and like.
Do you have any other?
That wasn't theoretically. That's what happened. I'm just.
Oh, okay. So yeah, your friend's theoretically, and you're actually.
God damn it!
Yeah, you're the actually guy.
Do you have any final thoughts on Channel Chasers, Martin?
I do not.
Okay.
Huh? You don't?
I don't.
What do you think of the show? Yeah,
it's like
what do you think of it?
The Channel Chasers?
Yeah,
it's a fine show. It's not my favorite of the movies that apparently.
Specials.
You like the Drake Bell one more, right?
Yeah,
of course. That's the one. Yeah. Even though I just said
he's not being sarcastic.
Also, no, actually, it's another one that I do like. I can't remember the name of it.
What happens in it?
Oh, is that one that came out on Paramount Plus?
Shut the fuck up.
It's not
that's delisted.
It's the one I like. It's the one.
That one.
The one where they
on Paramount Plus. They got delisted.
That's called Fairly Odder, and that's a sitcom one.
The one where I don't know, they locked the kids down and everything. The kids became like presidents and stuff.
That's a musical.
That's not a special. It's just the musical.
That's a special though. It's a musical special. I think I know. The Pixies are in it, right?
Yes.
Yes, that's a musical special.
I feel like I don't know what the name of it is, but I know I did enjoy that.
I think my second favorite one is Fairly Idle.
Which
is weird because like I was like I was like, when that was, and I was like, really, just an American Idol parody? But then like they actually do something with it, and they actually focus on Chester, who's actually a miserable kid, and give him fairies.
Yeah, it was a cool idea.
That was a special?
Yes, Fairly Idol.
I didn't know that.
Was that just like, that was an hour long, right?
Yeah, like an hour long.
Yeah. I think
Had some actually catchy
the
songs too.
original one.
Give me the
What was the
one,
original
set me
movie?
free.
The original
What
one
was-
where he
was-
was chasing through the internet when he was...
That wasn't even an hour long. That was just like an episode, probably like a 30-minute episode.
Was Anti-Fairies a movie or not?
I think
No, Anti-Fairies was just an episode.
Really?
The introduction to Anti-Fairies, that was just an episode.
They became,
No, I mean when the Anti-Fairies ripped to take control. What is that?
that was Poof. No, that's the one I want, the musical.
That's the musical?
When they had a son, they raised the dude.
Oh, I guess
That's
that-
Pixies. That's not Anti-Fairies, that's the Pixies.
That's a picture.
We're Pixies!
Oh,
We're
fuck,
Pixies!
that is Pixies.
Something in the Mixies!
Because the main guy looks like a fucking Pope. He looks like the fucking
The only
Pope.
real
Right?
thing with the Anti-Fairies was probably Foop.
I mean, Jimmy Tame Power Hour 2.
Oh, yeah, that's all.
No, that was the Calamitous.
And the Anti-Fairies. Anti-Fairies was the issue from Timmy's World. Calamitous was the issue from Jimmy's World. Calamitous was also the final boss. Anti-Fairies were like the beginning.
I remember him-
Were like the beginning issue, but they never teamed up.
Combined with Jorgen.
Yes, Anti-Fairies were a separate issue. Also, like there was like a weird plot hole with the second Jimmy Tame Power Hour. Was like whereas like Jorgen, the main anti-Cosmo escapes, and like Jorgen is like, you're never gonna do anything. It's in this universe, and the Anti-Fairy was like, this universe? That means there are other universes?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, this is delightful. And then it cuts to commercial break, but nothing happens with that.
That's right.
Because he doesn't mess with anything that involves... He doesn't do anything that messes with, like, Jimmy's universe or anything.
Yeah. That was a shallow missed opportunity. That was just a plot thread that didn't go anywhere. But there was a lot going on in the second one that was messy. So
And the third one, too.
third one was, unfortunately, I think, the worst.
Yes, easily.
Because, again, they had all the possibility to just be fine, and they ruined it. I don't know what the fuck was up with that. That was so stupid.
Took out a whole character. They took out Jimmy
Yeah.
of a character. Just
They made him
stupid.
fucking... God, man. There was such an opportunity there.
Which, that's not Jimmy anymore, so you kind of ruined the crossover by, like,
Yeah.
not having the character there.
You turn him into, like, the Hulk and fucking, the Avengers? Infinity War?
Well, not even that.
Wait, what?
He's just stupid. He's a dead agent.
Wait, which one was the one where they made the guy and they fought him?
Jimmy Tame Power Hour 3.
Yeah, because he learns how to... Because they said...
The Jerkinator.
Because instead of adopt, they said adapt, I think, right? Isn't that the whole thing? They say adapt. They say
Yes.
adapt. And so he adapts to the environment and he grows to be, like,
He takes
bigger
away...
and
He
stronger.
takes Jim... He takes, Cosmo Wanda's magic,
Fairies,
and he
yeah.
takes Jimmy's brain, and,
Yeah.
Jimmy smarts, and that makes Jimmy dumb for the rest of the episode.
What
Of the special.
And so it's more like a fucking fair...
I gotta watch that again, because...
Yeah, it's not really necessary. It's fine.
Not very good.
It's definitely, like...
Still, I enjoy all three of them, so I'm gonna watch them.
We did a
Oh, I
Jimmy
see.
Timmy Power Hour retrospective on a different podcast network, but like we'll redo it again probably next year or something.
No, we did it on Cartoon Chat.
Cartoon Chat, yeah.
We did it on Cartoon Chat 5
Oh.
years ago when Cartoon Chat was a completely different beast.
We'll redo and Whip Martin like in a year or so.
Yeah, but no, I think I feel you. Like as a kid, I thought 1 and 2 were good. I think 1 is still good.
One is very good. One is excellent.
It's definitely sunken. 2
2
is sunken.
has very good moments.
But 3, like I remember even as a kid, like why did they make Jimmy stupid?
Yes.
Like, and that's because I think I was getting older anyway. I was like,
And like everyone like
10 or
got
11,
warped
but-
into just like Fairly Odd Parent style.
yeah,
That's a yeah.
it was So clearly, just a wasted opportunity. Also, by that point, Fairly Odd Parents was not Fairly Odd Parents. Jimmy Neutron was like they were kind of reaching, trying to find things to do because they had the whole Cindy romance shit going on, and like with.
I think some of those episodes are still good.
Some
It's
of them
just
were
sort
good.
of
Some of
like,
them
it
were
just-
good, but they were just at that point. It was like, what do we do? What if
I
we
mean,
did a romance?
Fairly Odd Parents is getting that way too.
Yeah. No. Agreed. Both of them were getting.
Oh, well, even more so than Jimmy. I think
Wait,
most
three-
I think
was-
most
wait,
of Jimmy's
was
run
3
is
before or after Poof? Because I think
it was before, way before.
yeah, because I think Fairly Odd Parents was slipping, but it was after Poof where we all agree it slipped even more so.
Yeah, it was definitely slipping, but
Yeah.
like I think like most of Jimmy Neutron's run in general was pretty solid.
Fair. Yeah, I feel you. Yeah. Yeah. But that's a whole conversation for another time. Jimmy Timmy Power Hour, another very nice specialty of the Nick era in the mid 2000s. Yep, this has been Cartoon Chat, guys. You can find me at Democracy on YouTube, at Bryan the Baltimorean on Instagram. You can find this man nowhere because you can never find him. He is the sir himself. Thanks.
You can find him here. Just come here for more of him. Or if you don't want any more of him, just tell us to kick him out. We'll kill him on air. If you don't want him here, we'll kill him on air.
Yes, tell us in the comments.
I'd like to see you try.
If you'd like us to block him from the show, because if it increases ratings, we will acknowledge.
Dude.
We also tell us.
Dude,
tell us.
Dude, it's 2 against 1. Bryan is as fat as 2 people, and he will beat you up, and I will watch.
Bryan, what that fat? Damn. Okay. Fuck. Damn. Well, we can also vote off Mark off the goddamn island, so make sure to comment that.
My domain, bitch! Show me my show then!
Where do we find you?
Huh?
Where do we find
you? You can find me at my house.
We're live.
And if you need to get a hold...
Damn it, I thought you were about to say your fucking...
you can find me at my house, and if you want to get a hold of me, just grab my shoulder or something. But no, you can find me... You can find me at K9Biscuits. That's K9BISKUTS.com. Goes right to my YouTube channel.
Alrighty, guys. Appreciate you for watching, and stay tuned for more.
Why not, everybody? We're doing something to be related.